You just took its head off. Was down with the sickness or whatever? I don't know what that is. That's the key.
So you.
No, the keys. Yeah. So that's not what the key is for. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? So we just got done filming a commercial for Gladen Moscone Gladen. So Moscone Gladen. That's right. We just got done filming a commercial for KnowledgeFest for them. If anyone is going to the KnowledgeFest or the fest to get some knowledge, they will be doing private Barney trainings there. And if you're going to Master Tech, don't worry, they'll be doing them there as well. So
you have to remove the whole thing?
No, it goes the legs. It all fit. I mean, I think it just goes like that.
Really?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Maybe. I just pull it out of the box, so I'm assuming it goes that way. Because that's got to be down all the way to push the leg in more. There you go.
But
Because, it just sat like that. I mean, I don't know. See if it closes.
it closes.
Hey, look, it closes. Bonus. Piece of paper behind you. Anyways, so they're going to be doing Barney trainings there. And, got a question already. Of course. Hello.
You have a question?
Moscone makes fine Italian audio amplifiers. Yeah.
Well, we have a good friend here.
Yeah.
He can answer all your questions.
66 degrees in SoCal. That's beautiful.
What?
Gay, Dean and Fernando. That was El Fernandez.
Yay. Whoa.
Are you okay? Should we have a battle between him and Andy? They can fight it out.
Let's go, bro. That's not like that right there, man.
Yeah. Definitely. Anyways, so we just filmed this. Mary Lou is probably freezing her butt off because it snowed where she's at up in land of silliness. It's Morel. Hey, Morel.
Hey.
Morel. Yeah, you gotta hide your shirt while you're doing the ad.
Hi, guys. No, but Morel has this shirt.
I have one somewhere, yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Can I do the same thing in a DSP as an epicenter, or do I still need an epicenter? Ooh.
Okay, what?
So they're asking if they can use, if there's a DSP, if a DSP will do the same thing as an epicenter. And the quick answer to that is no, it will not, because most DSPs do not have the octave shift that is the patented software that the epicenter was all about. So it takes information at a higher frequency and shifts that down to the lower frequency, giving you the big fat boomy sound. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Some DSPs now, some of the higher end DSPs do offer a version of it that will give you similar effects. What a lot of people get it confused with is something like punch bass, because punch bass is a single band, 45 hertz, with an extremely wide Q, and that gives you a bit of so, and it's in the very low range. So which I'm a big fan of punch bass in the situation where we're just doing a DSP that doesn't have any form of bass restoration, which is what that octave shift is doing. I will create like a punch bass band where I will grab 45 hertz, sometimes 40 hertz, just depends, put a wide Q on it and boost it up about 6 dB, and that'll give me that deep, fat, yummy, bass sound. But it won't take banda music and make it sound great, because it's that information just isn't there.
Yeah.
So, but that'll allow you to do it. I have a DSR-1 in my truck, Audison in my car. The DSR-1 has punch bass, but you guys need to bring Mary Lou back to Florida so she can be on the show. I mean, she could be on the show via the internet. I mean, we can have guests, and I'll get her on.
I will go.
We should see if we can get her on Saturday. Might be too soon. Well, we'll get her on in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I miss having her on. She's fun. There was a couple people that make stuff. Tech tip of the day.
If you got allergies, don't go to work.
Sure. There you go. Stay home. Zasha. You said big fat yummy. Isn't that what it is? I like how Dean said banda music. Banda.
Banda. It's banda. It's like...
That's what I said. Banda.
You know.
It's like panda.
Exactly. Like with P.
Yeah. Yeah.
With B.
Anything to combat BMW voltage drops when letting off the gas from 1412 as soon as you come to stop 13.5. I mean, are you noticing an audible, like, it gets quieter? Because most of the amplifiers that have the boost power supply are going to do that. They're gonna get quieter as the voltage goes down. Well, I'm just trying. I mean, it's one of those situations where you would say, maybe add a small battery back there, but I don't know if that would actually do the job because, the alternator's voltage is going down. If the battery has a high enough voltage and the amperage is right, it'll stay up high enough until it catches up with it, and then if it goes back up to 13.5. So maybe a small battery in the back would help that, depending on how much power you're drawing. That would really be. But I mean, if you get something with a power supply that it just draws more amperage to try to keep the wattage up. Yeah, then you just there's no really good explanation on that.
That's pretty cool.
Voltmeter and Rockford amps will cut out. Voltmeter and Rockford amp will cut out. Ooh, it's the battery. Definitely battery.
Yeah, that's a lot of voltage.
Yeah. Any
suggestions?
Okay. Suggestions on an 08 like 8 speakers with navigation thing. We're talking like changing the system, changing the radio. It's a Lexus. Nothing's gonna be fun.
No.
Yeah, I'd have to see it, stare at it for a little bit. What gauge speaker wire do you run to doors, and do you use OFC? We don't use anything CCA at all, ever, never have.
Everything is
it's just copper. 18 gauge is usually will fit through a door if you have to. If you're trying to get through the door in some of the little tiny grommets. We have a dual run 16 gauge that we run sometimes, depends on what we're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually it's 18 gauge. I know. It's today's episode of I'm opening my shop. I had my electricity hooked up yesterday just to find out that only half of the lights and power outlets work. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Now, so
it's crazy.
Literally only half of them work, or was there something wrong with the power coming into the building? Because I know, and there again, not an electrician. I just know, we have, you have 220 coming into the building, and on the side of our building, there's the two 110s that come in, and one of those blew up, so half of our room stopped working, which was really weird. That kind of sucked. That was kind of funny. But there again, I also know what it's like when the lights just don't work.
Just do Mexican style, bro. Just jump it.
Yeah, jump it. Yeah. We'll be at MasterTech. He can help you with live stream.
Perfect.
Twan will be at MasterTech.
Perfect.
Dude, I haven't seen Twan since they did the whole live thing with Fro and Twan. Oh, that is so funny.
He was in Las Vegas.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember what he looks like.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Las Vegas.
You guys can walk around then. You can do that. Maybe he won't do this as much.
That was Jason right there, man.
Yeah.
So, a lot of drinking that last night. That night.
I don't know. Fro just shakes, man. Selma Silverado. I could swore we've done that.
We have, Lynn.
My amp went out on my 2001 BMW 8 speaker. What amp can I replace it with? I mean, if you're looking for like the plug and play solution on an 01, that's, so like the match from Audio Tech Fisher is designed to just plug right into BMW, but I don't know if it goes back to 2001.
2001. I don't think so, man.
If you're just looking for a simple solution, like I don't want to spend $1 million, maybe check out the JBL 8-channel DSP amp. I mean, it's
Now,
small.
are we talking about factory amplifier?
Yes.
Oh, this is an aftermarket.
He says the 8-speaker amp went out, so it sounds like factory. So I don't know. Just trying to think of an 8-channel amplifier that wouldn't be too crazy. Hey, it's Sue, stuck in an airport in California.
Really? Still? Oh, man.
Yeah.
You guys enjoying Cali, for sure.
Yeah, so they got a couple more hours before they take off. Rockford 1200 1BD, does the clip light take into consideration if I turn up the punch EQ? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, so as you turn up punch EQ, the output, yep. Which is cool, because that way you can turn gain down, turn punch EQ up if you're looking for something boomier.
So there's a new warehouse. Yeah,
So the electricity was never tested. Ah, that sucks. Do factories use CCA speaker wire? Notice corrosion. So Toyota uses CCA speaker wire.
Yep.
It's like a 12 gauge, 16 gauge, somewhere between there.
60.
It's usually like a purplish hue to it, and I've never seen any corrosion on it because they typically only use it in the cab of the car, obviously, but it's mainly just like the dash speakers. It may go into the boot, but it doesn't go through the boot because I don't think I've ever seen it in the door. You've never seen it in the door, have you?
CCA?
Yeah, the pink stuff, that's never been in the door. That's always copper in the door.
No, in the
sure?
Toyota CCA, yeah.
No, but into the door. What I'm saying, at the speaker in the door, I don't think it's that pink stuff anymore. Because I've only seen copper. I've never, because it's always the same color, but it's pink inside of the car. I've never seen it from the boot to the speaker. I've never seen CCA. I'll take a look at it next time. We'll kind of pay more attention to it, but I don't think I've ever seen it. He's just plugging it.
I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes. I'm going to say no. If you do run into a situation where there is that, then I recommend getting the speaker clips. Try not to cut it, and that'll eliminate any possibility. It'll reduce the possibility of corrosion, but I have not seen corrosion yet. But the reality is they've only been doing it for a couple of years now, so I don't think we're far enough down the road to see what it's going to be doing, because like even in houses, they didn't know it was bad for a while. Hey Dean, what's your favorite wireless CarPlay head unit? 9 Series Kenwood is going to be the double din, and then if you got the 1057, I love the 1057. I hate that it's a big screen. I just love the software on the 1057. It's pretty dope. Dope. Look at Sue chiming in. It's like, afternoon, guys.
What's up?
Yes, factory. 86 does wireless CarPlay. Sounds like weird CarPlay. It is like how Bluetooth CarPlay sounds. Oh, sounds crappy. That sucks. What does it mean when they say caps have been replaced on the old school amplifiers? Okay. So, stiffening. I am. So, stiffening capacitors are what drive the voltage into the power supply and keep it from fluctuating. So, your car battery, as you're driving down the road, is doing this. 12, 13.5, 14.2, blah, 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 and it goes up and down. Well, the power supply doesn't really like that, so you need capacitance in the amplifier to help alleviate that, and also to make sure there's a constant stream of power that's smooth going to the power supply. It reduces heat and makes it more efficient, all that fun stuff. So inside of the amplifier, here is your toroidal power supply. These here are more than likely, because there's way more here, these may also, but these are all stiffening capacitors to power said power supplies.
What is this?
That's a MOSFET. That's why that has the heatsink there.
What is this?
Those are resistors.
What is this?
That's a daughter board, and these across here are all the output devices, also MOSFETs. Those are toroidal power supplies. These are probably some form of a noise filter, I would think, but I could be wrong.
This?
Maybe a switching relay. Don't know. Not an amplifier designer. However, what happens is these don't last forever. They're filled with a chemical, just like a battery, sort of, in that a battery has some form of chemical in it, and they start to leak and or go bad. So any part like this, these are all stiffing capacitors. What they'll do is they'll solder them off the board and replace them with new ones that are more up to date and not leaking. So that's what they're talking about. Some, you know, because everything has a shelf life, meaning there's things will only designed to last so long. So it's like if you take something and you put it in the closet and you never use it, and you go look at it 20 years later and you're like, I never used it and it just disintegrated. It's because the stuff it was made of was never made to last for 20 years. So basically you should have used it. You know, it's like if you buy a gallon of milk, let it sit in the refrigerator. It's going to go bad whether you drink it or not. So you just might as well drink it. Ugh, disgusting. So capacitors are the same way.
So these ones have an expiration date?
Yeah, should be a long time from now compared to stuff from the 90s. Because shit's made a lot better now, right? But that's what they're talking about, is recapping a board.
So eat it before you
eat it before it goes bad.
Yeah.
Ice on roads earlier today. Everyone was doing the slide, not the electric one. Ooh, I hate when that happens. Like when there's, you know, when you see the cars doing this, you know, and their brakes, and they're just like, and you're just going, oh, that's gonna suck.
That's
why it's like playing car pinball. You know, there's no way to stop it. It's just centripetal force at that point.
No, you're
just going along for the ride.
At that point, you just pull your phone out and film it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I mean, you're hanging on for dear life because at some point the airbag's probably going to go off. What do you use for your wire rack? We have a really crappy... No, actually. So this is just these, which are shrink wrap and stuff like this, which I absolutely hate. It's just like electrical conduit, the metal electrical conduit. And we made little end brackets for it. This has like a fiberglass rod through it because, like, I don't know, we just kind of find things that work. The wire rack is very similar. We kind of had wire racks that hung on the wall and took a ton of room. So we just made this box and drilled holes through it. So now it just sits like this, and you got wire in the back, and we can push those out, and then it just conveniently slides underneath the counter so I don't have to see it. Because to be honest with you, looking at wire is not the prettiest thing in the world. They're kind of ugly, and I don't want to see it. Those have always been things that I've struggled with, trying to find something really cool to do. I just don't want them out. Like that whole, the goal of 2024 is to get rid of this whole end here, move it into some form of a cabinet up front to where I don't have to see it anymore because I'm just sick of looking at it. And I don't need to have it here. So I would much rather, I'd rather have a nice clean wall or move the lights or something. I don't know. I want to get rid of that.
What about on this?
What?
In some of this, so you open it and just pull your wire out.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. But I hate those roll-around ones like everyone sells, because we've had those. Those suck. They just take up so much room. How's the weather for this week? Rainy all week? It rained earlier. It rained earlier today. So right now, oh my God, as you can see, the sun is right there, and it's just beaming down, but it's kind of gray, kind of overcast looking, but it's sunny. This is the effect of Florida. So like if an hour ago this would have been gray, and right now, of course, the sun is like, screw you, I'm the powerful thing in the sky, and I'm going to burn through. And yeah, so but we have water, and of course the leaves that are making Fernando sneeze. That was a pile of leaves. It looked like snow yesterday, but it was super windy, so it blew off all the leaves, which is really cool. But yeah, they just come into the install bay, and it's just a headache. But it was 71 this morning when I left.
It's 74 right now.
74 right now. I thought for sure this rain was going to bring the cold weather that you guys are experiencing, but it didn't, which is kind of sad. So
yeah.
Because I like the colder weather a little bit, but whatever. Hey, Haley. All airports are quite strange. Welcome to California. Yeah. Well, no, so the joke is, They're flying out of John Wayne Airport. Okay.
That's what it's saying.
Yes, and so years ago when we did our first Disney trip to California, where we just came to go to Disneyland, and we were there for like 4 or 5 days, had a great time. On the last day, our flights got canceled. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, why did our flights get canceled? It's July, so I mean, there was no reason, no snow or anything like that. Just canceled the flight. So we had to scramble to find a flight out, and we had to drive from John Wayne Airport to LAX Airport and just get there by 9 p.m. when our flight took off. So that was up to 4:05 on a Friday at 5 o'clock. It was a nightmare. So when they were supposed to be home yesterday, and their flight got canceled the day before, and flying out of John Wayne again. So, and they're there now waiting to hopefully get on a plane that's supposed to leave sometime today. It's already been canceled and rescheduled, already been delayed by a half hour. So, which is not the end of the world, but still, it's like, yeah. What happens if the capacitor leaks on the amplifier? And that's just it. We don't want them to leak on the amplifier because it is a corrosion. It can corrode and start to leak and start to eat up the circuit board. And the problem is, if you get corrosion on the circuit board and or you burn up the circuit board is trashed at that point. There's really nothing you can do for it. You need a new circuit board. So the idea is to not let that happen. But also, you lose performance of the amplifier, which is really the key, because the capacitor isn't doing what it's supposed to do. So now the power supply can't get what it needs. And so now you run the risk of the power supply burning up the circuit board, which you don't want to happen. So it's kind of that circle of life thing. Everything has to work with the other thing so that everyone is happy.
Snow bypassing?
Snow White what?
There's no bypassing.
There's no bypassing. Well, no, that would be, I mean, yeah, no. If the cap leaks and you put power to it, you can burn the board. Yeah. Capacitors are like bladders. They leak when they get old. Yeah, that is such a dad joke. That was good. I have tweeters in the dash, but I noticed I could fit a 3.5 or maybe a 4-inch speaker. Should I switch to a speaker? Any recommendations on smaller speakers? So, yes, you could switch to a 3.5. Kenwood makes the C3 3.5. There's a bunch of people out there that also make 3.5s. Really nice. I like that one. We use it a lot of the times, or we pair it up with a mid-range. Here's the problem. If you have a set of components that you're running passively, meaning you have the cool little crossover on there and you only have one channel of power going to it, you're going to remove that crossover. It's going to make the mid-range sound a little different because now the crossover isn't going to do any good. You got to bypass it. And in order for it to work properly, it needs the load from the tweeter. At that point, you also have to think about going full active, meaning putting a 4-channel amp on it that has some form of a bandpass channel for the mid-range, thus replacing what the crossover was doing, putting the top on the mid-range so it doesn't play up. Even if you kept the crossover and hid the tweeter somewhere, it's still not going to work properly because the crossover point is wrong now, and the mid-bass will try to put out too much sound, which could muddy the 3.5, because it's now trying to play up to the tweeter, which is like 32 hertz. 3200 hertz, 3.2, 3200 hertz, as opposed to, let's say, 350 hertz or 300 hertz, which is what the mid-range can play down to. So you want to limit the mid-bass to play a different frequency response now. So it's not as easy as it sounds, but yes, if you do it right, it'll sound substantially better. Right? Yeah. Go team, go. If you have classic Phoenix Gold recap. Oh, yeah, for sure, because they bought up bad batch capacitors that everyone knows about. Yes. Jalapenos on your tacos. That's not what it said, but... Clean Wire Rack Club. Yeah, I know, right? That's what we need, the Clean Wire Rack Club. Kicker CXA 801 with 2 DVC kicker Compar T10s. Best way to wire to amp. It needs to go to the battery, it needs to go to the ground, and it's got RCA as well as high level input. It's also got DC offset input, so you can just, if you're going to go, if you're going to connect it into a factory stereo, you can. It will take high level in and detect the DC offset in, I think it's called FIT2 is what they're calling it now. It will automatically detect the 6 volts. It actually detects 3 and 6 volts. It's really cool. They're fit 2 circuit. But yeah, just tap 2 speakers, hook it up, be done. Or run some RCAs. 30 here in Jersey, raining on top of the snow. Oh, that makes ice. That sucks. 0 degrees are expected. My heart goes out to the guys over there in South Dakota. Apparently it's supposed to be negative 40 today, according to our news, which I thought was just tragic. Oh, it beats snow. That's why we live in Florida, because I absolutely hate snow. It is 7 degrees in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The other reason why I don't live in Michigan anymore. Holy Jesus.
Right now it's 74.
Note to self, don't schedule leaving out of John Wayne if we come to Cali again. What's up, Jeff? Dean, I know you guys use 12 gauge red and black primary wire for woofers, so it's more flexible. So if I have 12 gauge speaker wire, can I split them apart and put it in flex loom to make it more flexible? 100%. That's actually what we used to do, Bobby, and then we figured, why don't I just buy it pre-split and save some time? So, but yes, you can totally do that. That's kind of how we figured it out. Chick-fil-A for lunch. I mean, if you're going to deliver it to us, yeah, Jeff, bring it. Yeah, only if you bring it to him. This is who says. Have Infinity Kappa components. Does anyone make a tweeter to replace them louder? I mean, there's plenty of louder tweeters out there, but that's kind of one of those weird questions I don't know how to answer, because I really don't know the goal. I mean,
Need more power.
Would love to meet Mary Lou in person. I would get her a ticket to bring her to Florida, please. Oh gosh, you guys are funny. Mike, what's happening? What is the best ohm load? The one that the amplifier requires to put out the power you're trying to get. That's it. There's no good, better, best ohm load. It's just, what does that amplifier require? Can I get the power I need with the ohm load that I have? If not, do I need a different amplifier or do I need a different speaker? So once we figured that out, we can move forward with it. Orchestra today. No, so earlier today, right before we went live, we were filming a promo video for Orca for the KnowledgeFest training that they're going to be doing with the Barney, which we'll be sharing tomorrow for you guys to post wherever you like. But yeah, so we have our Barney, and we were just doing a cool thing because they're going to have a bunch of guys at KnowledgeFest doing private training classrooms and all that other fun stuff. So it ought to be pretty cool. Which reminds me, I got to come up with my 10-minute speech. Okay, cool. I'm running active 6.5s in the door and a D6-1200. Perfect. I'll pick you guys up from LAX next time. Bobby, that's like such a long drive, man. You were crazy for doing that. I found the Dean amplifier. It's the match up 1FX, 1000 watts into 1 ohm, 5-inch by 6-inch. Yeah, that thing is pretty tiny. Yes, that is the match. That little match mono amp that they have.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sure.
Dean, do you like the DSP amp combos or do you prefer units separate? What is your favorite middle of the road approach for this, potentially with Bluetooth streaming? I don't know, like the Bluetooth streaming part. Okay, so yes, I prefer amps with DSP. This is an 830 Moscone, obviously not middle of the road with DSP built into it. This is the Moscone 6-10 with DSP built into it. They also make an 8-10 version of that, both DSP in it. And then they have the Atomo series, which is middle of the road. Atomo, right? Or no, is it the other one? What is the other? Pico. Pico. Sorry, the Pico that is middle of the road with DSP in it. Most of them have some form of an input that you can put a streamer into it. So, like, for example, they have some form of an audio input that you can select and add something like the Moscone makes this guy, which is the Amos 96K. Helix also has chips that you can add into their amplifiers to add some form of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi streaming. But you know, the reality is that I don't know what a middle of the road would be. Audio control may be middle of the road. You can do one of their DSP amplifiers and add their BT25 to it. What's that? 24? BT24, which is a little Bluetooth module to it. They just pushed the software update to that to make that more reliable, and then you can stream directly into it. Most of these amplifiers have coax, digital, or toslink, which is a better way as opposed to Bluetooth. You know, maybe stream digital into it through a cable or whatnot. But we carry, as far as DSP amplifiers go, we start with the audio control. Then we go up to Arc, Helix, and Moscone. So Arc has the Blackbird, which is awesome, 8-channel, 12-channel DSP. Obviously, we talked about the Moscones, and then the Helix has a variety. Oh, we also carry Audison. Jeez, totally forgot about that. And Audison has the Forza. And they make something like the 8 MOS, which is called a Bitcon, which allows you to plug into any of the inputs on the amplifier and stream directly to it. So, yeah, a lot of fun there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Danny, what's up, Danny? Hey, guys, I should stay in Florida, 4 degrees here in Chicago. Yeah, I mean, I would never leave.
It's crazy.
If Hall head units clip at max volume, why don't manufacturers lower the max so they never clip? They don't. Kenwoods don't clip at max volume. The nicer, higher-end Kenwoods, the Excellents, don't clip at max volume at all. You turn the radio all the way up, and there's no clipping. If you start adjusting the subwoofer level control, you can get up to about 3 on that with max volume, and then it'll start clipping. So that tells me that Kenwood's radio is set up to be 3 clicks on the volume knob below whatever the max, whatever clipping is. Because I can, turn up the subwoofer level and it's still using the same tick, 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 tick. So yeah, that's essentially what they've done. Not everybody feels that way though. Because it has to do, there's a lot of things that equate into that. What amplifier are they using? What preamp section are they using? Are they using an all-in-one amplifier preamp section, which a lot of them use? So yeah, it's just, the other thing too is cost. Let's be honest, it's just cost. So, and a lot of them don't think like you do. A lot of them don't think that's an important feature because they go, no one's ever going to turn it all the way up. Dude, the Japanese don't always understand the Americans all that well. They don't get how we play stuff. No matter how much we tell them, they don't always understand. And it's weird because it's like, it's been a long time. You think they'd know by now, but they don't. Hey. We're above 0 degrees today. High five from Missouri. Jesus. Oh, sucks. That sucks so bad. Hey, listen, guys, that's it for now. We got to get to work. We got some stuff we need to do. But thank you for spending your lunch break with us. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Hey, guys, don't forget, this show is brought to you by actually MorelHiFi.com. This is the place you can find factory speakers from UBMW, subwoofer.
You okay, man?
Yeah, no.
You sure? You need a nap?
Of course.
Seems to be having a high time.
And yeah.
If you want the best in class in audio performance, make sure you check out MorelHiFi.com. Or you can find us here at
Morel_America.
There you'll be experiencing some of the best in class automotive speakers. Oh yeah. And make sure to check out the line of hybrids. It's the stepping point between Virtus and Elate. It's a really nice place to start. Oh yeah.
Yes.
You guys have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Welcome.
This doesn't even make sense.
I like the design of the speaker.
Somebody else does that.
That's cool. I don't know who does
I don't remember who does that.
When I used to be in manufacturing, like...
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Good day, everyone. What is going on? Yeah.
But hang on, before you tell, like, you know who's actually in manufacturing? This guy right here, MorelHiFi.com. This show is brought to you by Morel, and we continue with the show. We talk about Morel later. Continue.
Oh wow, trying to switch it
No,
up
you
a
see
bit.
that?
Is this in the car yet?
Yes, it's in that side.
All right, so guys, check it out. We have we have a crown.
Because we're the kings.
Yeah, we have a crown we're working on today, and it is a right-hand drive.
I love it.
So for those of you going, is that a right-hand drive car? What's up, Mike? So we have a right-hand drive crown in a 98, I guess is what it is. Dude, everything, this is the radio from 98. Look at that. Look how insane that is. Like, that's all the radio. That's like a 12-disc changer, navigation, main radio, GPS. So they started on it and quickly decided that they should stop, which was probably good. This is the rear door speaker mount. Dude, makes no sense. Kind of weird. So we have some Focal integration series going into this. And this is the door speaker. So that weird shape you just saw. And this is countersunk in, 1/2 inch, 6.5 inch speaker in the door. And then the tweeter is, we made this guy here, this little mount here to mimic this. And it just goes right in perfectly into the factory location. I mean, it fit perfect. It was almost like it was made to be in there, so it was really nice. Metal tweeters, Focal, drops right into place. 1/4 inch acrylic. This car has gotten, he wanted a lot of specific things, so I've spent pretty much all morning just making these little doodads and widgets for it. So he wanted to take out, this is the controller for the radio in the back seat. So we had to pull the center console out, and we made this, which is, he wanted dual power supply USBs. So these are the ones that hook up to power and ground. iSimple. So we made these, put these little white behind it just to kind of offset it. This is acrylic, but it is satin finish, so it matches the rest of the car. And then in the center console up front had this little useless pocket here, and we went with 2 USBs in that because the Kenwood he has a 905 has dual USBs. I went with 2 of the gray USBs to give it that same look as back here, so they're easy to see. So this is in there again. It's a satin acrylic to make it look like the rest of the car. So that was that. And then there's no dash kit for this car at all. There's none. And he had bought a Metra kit and sanded it down and tried to get it to mount, and it just looked terrible. So this is actually 1/4 inch acrylic that we painted to match this piece up here. Got it all lined up and snapped it into place so that it actually, this is just goo. So that it actually sits in there right. It was crooked and looked really bad and all that. The neat thing about this car is that the radio is in the trunk. So the AM FM antenna is in the trunk, the power and ground is in the trunk, everything's in the trunk. So we have to make our own umbilical cord to bring it up front here. There's nothing up front for us to attach to in this car. So that's kind of a lot of fun there. But yeah, so every piece is a one-off, because I'm pretty sure we'll never work on one of these again, which is great.
Now that you say that, it's gonna.
Yeah, they'll just be lining up. Like, we saw you did a crown. What could you do a crown? So he's going with a 901.5 Kenwood Exelon amplifier, and he wants to see the wiring. So he doesn't want us to put it underneath the seat. He wants to go in the trunk with it. This is that corner of the car here where all that stuff is mounted. It has to stay because the floor mat and everything is cut for it. So the plan is to mount the amplifier here, but then have the amp rack come down this way so that all the wiring just kind of fans out and comes into the car this way. So it'll be amplifier sitting up here and then look really neat. That way, you know, the wiring will really pop, as it were. Because he's really excited. He's like, I want to see all the wiring. I'm like, okay. So we're gonna. That's the plan. I haven't started on it yet because I've been doing all these other little pieces to get to this point, so to speak.
You haven't done it.
I haven't done diddly squat. Yeah. So that is what is happening in the bass. So to recap, he's got a 905 Kenwood Exelon XR radio. Gonna get a 901.5 amplifier, some Focal integration, 6.5 components up front, custom brackets for all those, 5 1/4 coaxials in the rear, custom brackets for those. And then the box he's going to go with is the Kenwood Exelon 212s box. You know, the cool one that you can turn upside down, fire back, comes with the grills and all that. So, yeah. I mean, for the most part, it's a pretty normal stereo, but every piece has to be made from scratch to get it to go into the car. So, yay. That's kind of where we're at. Dean, what nut do you use in the back of the cab for mounting amp racks behind the rear seat? We use M5 hardware for that. So let's give you an idea because you're gonna want to see it. So this is the M5. This is the M5 nutsert. This is an M6 that we also have right below, which is a little bit bigger. This is on the big side. And this is the M5. This is the M5 nut here. This is an M6. It's really big. But those, yeah. But like an M8. Hold on. Oh, so this is, give you scale. Like this is an M8. This is gigantic. You'd never use it. This is like spare tire. This is what holds the spare tire down. Very rarely do you ever need those. We have those for when we're replacing that spare tire. We need to get into it. We have those, and then like this is like an M. I'm on the floor. This is like an M3. So hardware wise, we stock M2, 3, 4, and then just 5, very small amount of 5 and 6 for just screwing down amp racks and stuff. But that's, yeah. So those are the thingies.
The thingy?
Those are the thingies. Another custom job by 5-star. Yeah, that's right. It's almost as bad as that pickup truck we did not too long ago. You bet, Bobby.
In the thingies.
The thingies. So, you know, we'll be going up the what would be the driver's side of the car for everything on this, because in the back here, it has a standard 1761 Toyota plug, so all our wiring for speakers and everything are back here. This is the antenna, so we have to run the antenna up front. This is the problem right here, is it has a gas tank and a full metal firewall. It's gonna suck. That's why, I mean, it's gonna suck. But this is a little factory 8-inch here. That's gonna come out. So in these types of vehicles, you have to do basically a lot of bass in the trunk that's just gonna vibrate. Some air will come through that rear deck, but for the most part, it's just like, kind of sucks. But you know, metal firewall behind the back seat kind of slows everything down for sure. Get all the sizes. Yeah, we buy variety packs. Most of the time when I buy screws, I'll buy like a small pack that has like 100 of each screw in it. You know, from like M4, M3, M2, M5, and then the ones we use, I'll order a bag of just those screws, and then they'll go into those cabinets. So that's kind of how we deal with that, as far as like making sure I buy a variety always. Yeah. So those are the bulk, but when you come over to here, so these are the variety packs. So you know, we buy variety packs of the thermal certs, these things, and then we buy like this, and this gets us like in the ballpark of what we're going to need. So this was M3s, M4s, these are 5 and 6s. This is a cheat sheet that came in these variety packs. Same with washers. Did the same thing with washers. I just don't have a home for all of these yet. But yeah, we bought like a variety pack wash. Figured out what we needed. More thermal certs. Yeah, we find out what we use, and then so here's a big variety pack on washers, body panel clips. But we find out what we're going to use, because these are typically cheaper to buy these. You know, they don't come with a ton of them, like 20 sometimes. But that way I can then go and buy a couple hundred of each one. Thermal certs are cool. Can you make a video going through the ARC DSP software similar to what you did with Audio Control DSP software? Actually, I think it already exists, and we did it with Brian on Saturday. It does exist. Yeah, because we had Brian on probably 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months ago. Probably 6 months ago, doing the same. But hey, listen, I'll be more than happy to have him on, and we'll go through it again, because there are some updates.
DSP with Brian Mitchell.
I think it is called... Yes, DSP with Brian Mitchell. And it was kind of general, but no, I'll be more than... Brian loves to talk, so I will be more than happy to get Brian on, and we can all go through it. Is the Crown more like the Avalon or the Lexus?
More like the Lexus.
Fernando says Lexus.
Yeah, this is like
I mean, the gas tank is in the trunk, so Avalon sure as heck wouldn't do that.
The first time I saw it, I was like, that's a Lexus. Sure.
He thinks it's a Lexus. He's all on the Lexus thing. It's a 98. It's all it is to me.
It's cool.
It's not. Where do you get your house? We get our custom heat shrink from wirecare.com. So it is expensive now. Oh my god, it's so expensive. It's ridiculous what they charge for it. But if you just need small batches of it, I know Steve Meads actually does some printing too. He used to. I don't know if he's still doing it, but you might be able to get a smaller batch. But it is. I mean, it's worth it for us because we're a retailer and it's a branding. As an individual, yeah. I mean, if you only got I guess I don't know. But it is expensive, man. Everything's expensive now, though. So it's all about the details. As we know, I spent all morning on stupid details. So, like so this logo, this is the logo for the Crown, and you'll never see this back here. But there again, I had to create this Crown logo from scratch to go here. Ghosted in so that there was something on this panel because there was a lot going on, so it's just chilling out here. No one will ever see that. Kind of. Who sits in the back?
Our kids.
Let's see the fuse holder under the hood, please. We haven't got to the fuse holder under the hood yet. We're still working. That'll be probably tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow or later today. What time is it? Maybe
tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow, later today. So, yeah, it's a lot of, yeah. But no, we will show that tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow, and I'll make sure. Of course, we'll show it to you. Snowing and frozen, everything in the upper Pacific right now. Oh, it's miserable. Oh yeah, I know, dude. It was 40. Okay, listen, you gotta understand we're a bunch of pussies here in Florida. All right, so we're not used to this. We're used to 90. It's a $50 swing or $50 swing for us. We don't handle that really well. See, I'm wearing a hoodie. I have my Camaro jacket over there because it was cold. 42 this morning. Top was up. I'm not that crazy. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But yeah, snow and all that crap, you guys are on your own. It's freaking awesome that you do that. Well, I mean, the guy came here because it's us. I mean, he came, he saw the videos. He's from the islands, man. He wants island sound, man. So that's why we're doing the focal, getting the loud tweeters in here. It goes out to in. Goes this way. Okay. So, well, yeah. I mean, you got to do the little details like that. I mean, that's why we're using matte acrylic instead of shiny acrylic when we painted everything. It's like, it's tech tip of the day. Why are you doing this to me, Bobby? Buy a laser. Tech tip of the day. The laser is your best friend. Hands down, best friend. You gotta have one, man. I don't know how people live without it. You need a laser and you need an RTA. That's it, 40s. I know. But for us, it's the end of the world. My buddy Marty Adamscheck up there in Canada, he sent me a picture of the snow he just got at his house. And he spoke too soon because he was like, yeah, we don't have any snow yet. And he goes, oh, man, we got snow. I was like, yeah. So I sent him a picture of the beautiful outside that we had. I said, it's cold today here, too. Brr. Yeah, 42, barely wearing a hoodie. Not me, got my hoodie on. But you got to understand, like, the Camaro jacket that I have, that's about the heaviest jacket I own. Like, it doesn't get any more than that. I got to put, like, my hoodie on, then that jacket, and another jacket, and we're not prepared. We never will be, because it's just, like, y'all, that stuff takes up way too much. Mary Lou and Jeff show ever happening. Never say never. Never say never. They're buddies, so you never know. I mean, that would definitely be a fun show. I don't know if we get anything accomplished, but it would definitely be a fun show to have. I would enjoy doing it. I don't know if you guys would like it though, because I don't know if you guys would be able to ask anything. We'd be having way too much fun. What laser do you have or recommend? We use the Glowforge because we need something that's small and can fit right there on the shelf. There's a ton of little hobbyist lasers now that are reasonable-ish. I don't know, man. It's hard. Like, I know I just can't do my job without it. So, for us, it's a perfect fit. For us and what we do, all these little tiny things and speaker brackets and stuff like that, the Glowforge is amazing. And some of the guys are like, "Oh, you need a big one." It's like, "Yeah, we don't do stuff like that." So I don't really need that. But just got to know where you're at. For us, this is perfect. So you're going to buy the other laser? I'm not buying another laser. What's going on with 3D printer? Fernando's been playing with the 3D printer. He's kind of not been playing with it for like a week or two now, but we printed a couple things. We had some fun, and then we got busy again. But at least we fired it up and printed something, and he's learned a lot from it. So hopefully the next time we fire it up here, it'll do even more fun stuff. And a polarity tester for sure. Dean, what you guys working on today? Today we're working on a crown, right-hand drive. It's actually right-hand drive crown for the Islands mount. So we're putting a Kenwood / Focal system in it, doing a bunch of custom brackets and stuff like that, because they don't make anything. There's nothing made. It's 98. I don't want to say 89, but it's not that old.
Why do we mix the speakers and the amplifier?
But this is the factory speaker. How silly is that? Why did we mix the factory speaker, or why did we mix speakers and radios and stuff like that?
Most people are gonna be like, why you not use a Kenwood speaker?
Because two reasons. One, the Kenwood tweeter is way too big to fit in the factory location that we have, and two, it really doesn't perform the way this customer wants his audio to sound.
And the 6.5 on the Kenwoods are deeper.
Really deep, yeah.
And we have the window, actually the motor, no, what do they call,
window rails?
The window rails right on the side, so.
Yeah, it get in the way, yeah. So you gotta go with what works.
Yes.
Any 3D scanner plans?
Oh, we have a 3D scanner.
No, we don't have a 3D scanner. We have a 3D printer.
Oh,
the phone?
Scanner, yeah.
Oh, use the phone? Yeah. So I don't want to jump ahead. So
jump it. It's okay.
Is there one in the future? There has to be one in the future. Like, it only makes sense. But it doesn't make sense to buy it right now if we're not ready for it, because then by the time we are ready for it, there's probably a better one that'll be out. So it doesn't make any sense to do that. So, sometimes having every tool is a headache if you don't know how to use any of the tools. So kind of want to get it, like the laser.
Like the 3D printer.
Yes, like the 3D printer.
2 weeks later, he changed his...
Yeah, there's a better one out. So we'll figure out how to use this one, then we'll throw it away and we'll get a different one.
Oh, why
You know,
not throw it away?
I'm just it's just a figure of speech, man. I'm not gonna actually throw it away. What is the vertical saw machine? Which brand and model? So this is a panel saw. This is the only tool Paul owns in the whole shop is this panel saw here, and it comes from Saw Tracks out of Georgia. I don't even know if they're still in business. The reason why I had him get me this all those years ago is because the first place I worked at, AVE, we used to have a giant table saw with an out table. It was out to here. It was huge, and you could do all kinds of fun stuff with it. And it just took up a lot of room, and we're like this. We were limited on space, so for cutting, ripping big pieces of 4x8, the panel saw makes the most sense. It used to be attached to the wall, and then as we started to need more space, we brought it 12 inches off the wall, and now we're able to hide all our material behind it, which is good. Some stacked up here. This is all acrylic and other weird stuff, but there's no wood. This is more acrylic. But that's why this is, and then we added this to it just to keep all the dust from, kind of focus the dust to this area here so it makes it easier to clean up. I've always had a small table saw. This is the Bosch right now. Yeah, so, and this is a plastic cutting blade. That blade sucks right now. I tried to switch a blade, don't like it. Sliding, this is the new sliding compound miter saw. Switched out, I think this was a Delta 8-inch, and I switched it out for the Cobalt because it's a sliding compound miter. This is the best. This is the third sander I've had in this place over the last 10 years. And then the cheap tool store started selling this guy. So it's a big 12-inch disc sander. We've had belt, disc belt, all those others. I think we started there again with a Delta, and then I went to a Porter Cable, and then I'm with this guy here. If I were to buy another one, I'd just get a better version of this. Like, this doesn't have a brake, so it just sits there and keeps spinning forever and ever. I would probably upgrade this to something that had a brake, but it works so well. It's hard to, and we use the shit out of it. So that's these, and then these are still Porter Cable routers that are in here. We have 3 of those. There's another one right there that doesn't get used because there's shit on top of it. But yeah. And then we have an acrylic bender up front that we just bought and have never turned on because we don't have any room to put it anywhere. So, but Saw Tracks. Do you recommend just replacing my OEM amp that went out and keep OEM speakers? Depends on the car. Depends on how old it is. There's a lot of variables in that. For example, we had a Mercedes that came in yesterday and their factory amplifier is dead. They're like, what can we do? Spend thousands of dollars for us to tear it all out, put an amplifier in it, do all that fun stuff, and they weren't prepared for that nonsense. So it was, okay, well, here's the amplifier, go get it fixed or replaced. So that's what they decided to do. Dean, what age you think of bowling out? Wait, hold on. Dean, what age you thinking of blowing out of installing? Or bowing out of installing. Tomorrow would be the age I'd like to bow out of installing, but I have a feeling I won't. Tomorrow, I'm fine with tomorrow. Could you share the price on the most expensive install you've have done, including components and labor? Just curious. The most expensive. The system that cost the most amount of money for both equipment and labor was the Porsche with the BRAC system. Mainly just because the equipment was expensive. I think he spent like $55,000 on equipment. So it was silly expensive, the amount of money he put into that. And it took a week. I don't know what the labor bill was on it. I never saw it. But it had to be ridiculous.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, but the result was amazing, and everyone loved it. So, but yeah, So, and there again, I'm not like, there's a lot of guys that get really excited. I just sold a $50,000 system. I'm the man. I'm not that guy. I don't care for that. I would much rather do F-150s. As much as I'm not enjoying working on this car, I know when we're done it's going to sound awesome and it looks really cool and it'll just be neat. So this is fun. This to me is way more exciting than the Porsche. I love the Porsche when it was done, but doing it is just so much work.
No, man. What are you talking?
I don't know. I know. It's just, I get it. Anyways, it's what?
Porsche all day.
Well, I mean, we could do like 24 a year and be done with it. That'd be cool. Because it's, one every 2 weeks. That'd be the best, right? One every 2 weeks? Yeah, I could do that. Do you have at home also a lot of tools? So, oddly enough, I used to have a lot of tools at home. Because that's where I started working. But no, as time has grown, I've kind of thinned the herd. For the tools that I own, like for example, we were just talking about like the sanders and the saws and all that stuff that we took out of here. I took those home and I gave them to friends of ours for Christmas. I was like, "You guys want these? They're just taking room in my garage. They gotta go." So no, I typically I don't have a lot of tools at home anymore. I still have some odd tools, like I have a planer, I have a scroll saw. I have a ton of hand tools, but like big tools, no, I don't. I have a compound miter saw at home, but no, I don't.
You need a laser at home.
I would put a laser at home. I thought about it, but no, I don't really, because I don't want to work on stuff I'm at home. To be honest, it's not anything I care about. But I have. I used to have a table saw at home. And then Sue hit it with her car and put a 5-inch gash in the side of her car that I had to have fixed. That cost me as much as the new table saw I wanted. So I gave the table saw away and never got another one. So, and that's the thing. Like when I don't want anything anymore, I just give it away. Fernando loves that. BMW 01. Oh yeah, lots of fun there. Holy crap, Batman. Did the result reflect the price in your opinion? Oh yeah, dude. It was definitely, I'm sure Fernando would say it's the most amazing car he's ever heard. It was fabulous. I mean, this stuff is not that exciting for me as it's exciting for a lot of other people. Just because I don't have that character where I get like, oh my, I can fake it really well. But as Haley tells you, it's like not my thing. So was it amazing? Yeah. Did the customer love it? To me, that is the most important thing. When he sat in the car and he was like, this destroys the other car you did for me, which was another very expensive system that we did, a full Audison bit system and a Raptor that we have a video of. It destroyed that. And that's all that mattered to me. Like that's the thing that I thought was amazing, was just that. But I don't know. I just, years of doing this, I've kind of lost that. Oh my God. I don't have it anymore. So he does. And so if he's excited, then that works. You love that system, right?
What? I love everything.
Yeah, he loves everything.
I hate everything.
Where did the full DA Audison Chevy truck fall money-wise? It was actually a Dodge. It was actually a Ford. It was an F-150. I want to say that one was about 15 back then. 15, 25, somewhere in that range. Maybe? I don't know. It's been a while. So you got to understand, like, those two systems for him, those took about 2 months of planning before we actually started on it. And we go through a lot of variables. So it's not like, those systems are not like somebody just walks in and it's like, hey man, I'm just here to get a cool system. I'm like, oh, hey, cool, let me show you a cool system. No, that is a lot of back and forth of like, I was thinking about this, and me going, really? That? I mean, we could do this. And he's like, no, I really want to. And me trying to talk him out of him spending money. That's usually how the conversation goes, is I try to talk him out of spending the money, and he ends up spending it anyways. So, I was close. I bet it was 60. install on the porch.
more.
It was more than that, yeah. I have an old school Showroom Vega subwoofer that has a high sensitivity. What does that mean? I think it's like 96 dB. So efficiency just means that the wattage that you're putting on it, it uses very well. So like if it has a power handling of like 300 watts with 96 dB, it's going to be very loud 300 watt speaker. It doesn't need a lot of power, and it is going to get very loud very fast. So yeah, enjoy it. It's just going to be loud and do its thing. I did give all my lawn care equipment away. So when the sign place was there, a guy that worked at the sign place, as soon as we hired the lawn guy, I was like, hey man, I got all this lawn shit. Do you want it? He came over and picked it all up and was gone the next day. Didn't care. He's like, you want it? No, just take it. Please get it out of my life. Techno Express. Did you guys have lunch already? No, lunch is called dinner. You know that. What is it going to take to make the Jeff and Mary Lou show happen? Just aligning schedules, really, is really what it is. It's just trying to get both those guys at the same place at the same time. Talking with them and figuring out. Fernando, seriously, was that the best system you've ever heard?
Which one?
The Brax system.
No.
No? No, he says no. Being a dick. Was the Brax system also optical? The Brax system was optical into the DSP. So for that, we used the Mo bridge. Out of the Mo bridge into the Brax DSP. Out of that, the amplifiers are not optical in, they're regular RCA. So RCA into those. Boom. No. Is there something that excites you to the point of going wow, or you're just not that guy? Yes, there are things that'll excite me to go wow, but it's usually something that is so far out there. I do have my moments of like wow, but they're usually not the moments of wow that most people have. I don't know. It annoys the shit out of Haley because she'll do something really cool and I'll be like, this is the coolest thing ever. And she's like, yeah, but I'm expecting your excitement level to be here. And it's kind of like right here. I'm like, no, that's my here. And, I don't know. It's just life full of disappointment. Kind of tamps things down. Greetings from freezing Toronto, gents. Oh man. Being the Mustang specialist you are, have you worked on the 2024 yet? Looks to be the same as the previous generation. So the BO system in the 2024, from what I've seen, is totally different. Uses a different connector, different plugs. We haven't gotten one here yet, but I was talking to a friend of mine that came in and has to work on one, and he was showing me a bunch of pictures of the plugs. And so nobody really has anything for that yet. Base model is probably super simple, but the premium audio one is not yet. Is the new shop ready? No, but we did have time yesterday because we got done with what we were working on yesterday here. And this showed up late. Actually, it showed up early because it was supposed to come in this morning. They dropped it off last night, so we had like an hour last night to get a plan on this. But while we were not working over here, we did get to do something over in the showroom, which I will show you guys right now. So, hold on. All right, I had to shut off the Wi-Fi so it doesn't do stupid stuff. So we ordered new displays, but those won't be in for probably a month or whatever, which is cool. So we don't have to deal with the displays we have. But we did do this. So we hung a 75-inch TV here. We're probably going to put another one there and put a desk here. But that's... and that TV will just say like 5-star and then be connected to a laptop so that I can just kind of talk to people. What is that? Oh, I know what this is. Ooh, this is from Mary Lou. We can't talk about that though. But yeah, so we ended up the 75-inch TV there. I'd really like to put like some beadboard across here. I think that would look really cool. But we'll see. Maybe some LEDs. I'll probably go to like get some of those TV LEDs to go on there. But that's just showing our YouTube videos all day long. So it's slow, very slow, because we don't have a lot of time. But at least we got one thing done. So pretty cool there. Has a forward sync radio from the 2018. Forward sync radio from 2018, an external amp. Okay, so just switched over. Hello, Paul. What kind of DSP is in the G35? Right now, he's running, is it an Atomo?
Atomo, yeah.
Yeah, Moscone Atomo. 4 to 6. Yeah, little guy. All right, listen, guys, that's it for now. I got to get back to work. But hold on.
Before you go,
if
you are in the industry and you are going to KnowledgeFest Las Vegas, Morel is going to be there. And they're going to have my favorite speakers, that is the hybrids. So
I think they'll have all the speakers.
They're going to have all the speakers, but my favorite is the hybrid.
Oh, okay.
So it's what I want, I have. But yes, if you go into
Dude, if you're going to move,
Las Vegas, I mean, you have to follow me, man. Come on. If you go into Las Vegas, they're going to be in the booth 507. It's going to be huge. It's big. You're probably going to get lost because it's big. But please go morelhifi.com. Here on Instagram, they have a post, Morel_America. That's it.
Bye. Trunk hop's on the passenger side.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Nobody asked you. Hello. So, what is this thing called?
It's a crown.
The Crown Royal is done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Japanese junk. That's not a junk. It's the trunk. It's a Japanese trunk, okay?
Trunk, junk. It's got a little bump in the trunk. All right, so let's go over, guys, what we got going on in this. You saw part 1 yesterday. Part 2 is today.
Yep.
Part 2 means, thankfully, it's done. Which I'm excited about.
So just to recap, what are we having here? We have the...
I'll go. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Kenwood 905.
901.5.
Yep.
So we got a 901.5. All right, so let's kind of break it down. All right. So first things first. Gas tank is right here behind this. So like if I slide this box forward, this is the gas tank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a factory 8-inch in the rear deck that we took out. So we pulled the back of the car apart, took the 8-inch out. This is the Kenwood 212 box. It can be down firing like it is now. It can be backfiring. It can go many different ways. There's grills on it. It's a really cool box because I could put it like this. And right now in this trunk, like if you back up some, like you can kind of see, that actually looks pretty cool. Kenwood, all that. The second thing is this was the premium model, and it had the 12-disc CD changer, which you're seeing right there, navigation, all kinds of nonsense. And so we couldn't take out this piece because the floor mat and all that wouldn't fit. And it's not like I can just go buy another one of these because this is a 98 Crown. They don't exactly exist. He wanted to make sure he saw the wiring. Like, seeing the wiring was one of the reasons why he's here. So he says, hey, can I see the wiring? Don't put it on an empty seat. I want to see what it looks like. And I was like, okay, cool. So we came up with this design. Originally, we were going to put it on this side. But the air conditioner is on this side of the car, so running the power wire was going to be a big pain in the butt. On this side, it was easy. And that allowed us to make a mount that attached to the factory bracket. So we made another mount that you can't see that's behind this. It allows these two screws to screw this into place, and so it attaches to the entertainment factory mount that was in here. It looks pretty cool, and he gets to see the wiring, which is criteria, was he wanted to make sure he saw the wiring, so it all tucks in and goes in. There is a metal firewall behind the back seat, so if you're up behind this, if you go behind this back seat, it's a 100% firewall.
Yeah.
So there's only two little wire grommets up in the corners.
Just like a Lexus.
Just like a Lexus. So surprisingly, lots of bass gets through that hole. I was really happy because that was my main concern. That's why we went with the bigger box. Originally, he was just going to do like a 10, and I'm like, we're never going to hear that. So this works out really well. Closes, looks cool. Inside the car, we wanted to make sure we could get the most out of the sound. Yesterday, we showed you the construction of the Focal integration 5 1/4 coaxial for the rear door, and a set of 6 1/2 inch components for the front. Tweeter fit perfect in here. We lasered a bracket to fit it. 6 1/2. Fernando made a set of, for both 1/2 inch blown PVC mounts. It's like a stop sign, or it's a 5-side, so whatever that is. Looks like a Chrysler logo, old Chrysler logo. Countersunk the 6 1/2, the 5 1/2. 5 1/4 we didn't have to because there was actually more depth. Go around to the passenger side for a second.
Okay.
So one of his requests was he wanted a bass knob, which there's a place right here that we could fit a bass knob, so that real easy to get to. He needed a dash kit because they don't make a dash kit for this car, so we manufactured this dash kit. Luckily enough, it painted to match the factory paint, so that turned out really nice. He also wanted the USBs for the radio mounted here in this area, so we made this. And then in the back here, he wanted 2 more USBs. This used to be the controller for the front radio from the back seat, so we took that out and put 2 USB charge points in there for the people in the back of the car. This is an older Kenwood, so this is the 905 that's in here. But for the most part, the reason why we went with the Focal, like we could have done a cool, like, oh, why did you go with Kenwood speakers and all that, like make it match, which would have been really cool, but we needed tweeters that would fit in that smaller location, and the Kenwood tweeters are kind of big, so we knew those wouldn't fit, and they're deeper. In this door, we didn't have a lot of room to go deep into the door. Microphone went up top here. GPS antenna got put up in the gauge cluster. This is a 98, so this was a lot of fun in that it's very slow. So
and it's in a great condition.
It's
man.
in amazing
like,
shape, but it's all on the outside. It's kind of like a 60-year-old with really nice tits. Okay, it's still a 60-year-old.
No. Okay.
I'm just saying, it's still a 60-year-old. So
I take it.
Okay. No.
I changed my G35 for this one.
Okay. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Sure. But anyways, so yeah, it is in really nice shape. It's a beautiful looking car, but it's old, and so yeah, everything took twice as long to do, and of course there's no parts at all anywhere for it. But I dig these seats, man. Whoever owned it before smoked though, which really sucks because there's like little cigarette burns in the seats everywhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're talking about
Well, I mean, it still has an ashtray.
It's Japanese.
Yeah, but it still has an
Over
ashtray.
there in Japan, and probably everybody smokes.
Wow, that was so stereotypical.
I know.
But it does have a cup holder. Right here. There's you put maybe a small mini 6-ounce can in it, or maybe one of those like Red Bulls. This is.
That's totally a Red Bull's.
Yeah, but it's funny because Red Bull didn't exist back in '98.
They do.
So it didn't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was no Red Bull in '98.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's this. Let me see. Grab me the. You have my phone. All right, we can't hear it then.
Yeah, no, I just.
All right,
just
well, no, it won't.
normal. You know?
No, because it'll all get DRM'd. They're all picky. But no, it came out really nice. It's got adequate bass, which is cool. Let's see the fuse holder underneath the hood. Somebody wanted to see that yesterday. Let's take a look and see what we did here. So the power wire comes out of what would be the driver's side, passenger side here in the US. Gets zip tied across. Fernando zip tied it every 4 inches or 3 inches, it looks like. Make sure that it's not going to get any craziness. once we get to the fuse holder, went with a pretty, they didn't have to be overly complicated, even though it is kind of overly complicated. So we did a little Z-bend here off of the factory post. Fuse holder sits on top of the battery. Super easy to service. This just pops off. You can pop this off of this mount, take this mount out, replace the battery, snap it back into place without disconnecting it from the battery. So that makes things really cool. Yeah. All in all, it turned out,
Good job, man. You did a wonderful job.
All in all, it turned out really slick.
Yeah.
It was a ton of work
Yeah.
to try to get this done, just because everything is so old. It's like me. It's old.
You can relate with this.
I can relate with this car for sure.
Yeah.
So
How old you were when this one came out?
I was already in the business for 8 years when this came out.
8 years.
Yeah, it's a 98. I started in 90, so this would have been a newer car.
For you.
Yeah, this would have still been a new car.
Yeah.
This was 8 years in the future, so lots of fun there. But hey,
Yes.
this show is brought to you by the fine folks at Morel. You can find them at morelhifi.com as well as Morel_America here on Instagram. They do a lot of cool things like show off custom work that, well, you yourself could have done. So make sure if you're buying Morel and you're going to put it in your car, you hashtag Morel, Morel_America, so that they can then share your beautiful work that you've done showing off your awesome new Morel speakers that you just put in your car, possibly the Morel amplifiers. Right now, they want us to talk about the Morel hybrid speaker. The hybrid speaker is called that because it uses a hybrid motor structure. It's a dual motor. It's a dual magnet design on the motor to optimize its performance and space and price. So you get more performance for a smaller price because they use the dual magnet design that allows them to use two different types of magnets, thus reducing the amount of price and getting optimum performance out of it. It's pretty cool. Still has the oversized voice coil that we all know and love about Morel. Make sure you check out the hybrid over at morelhifi.com, or you can find pictures of the installs at Morel_America.
Awesome.
Oh, all right. Anyways, that's what we got going on. We're excited to get this out of here because we have more work to do. If you guys have ever wondered, yes, we use these cool skirts right here to make sure we don't scratch the paint. These are really nice. We've been using these for a couple of years, and they hang over here on the wall.
Yeah.
Look all snazzy. Seat covers and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah.
Which make things really nice. I like the wheels.
I love the wheels.
I like the wheels.
I
These
really
look
love
good
the
on my
wheels.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mine too.
Yeah. No, these look way better on my car.
No way. You have a Mustang, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's why. They
No.
look cool on Mustang.
No.
These don't look like Japanese wheels.
Totally Japanese
Tuning
wheel.
fork.
Dude. This is totally... Nah, see, look at that. I like the car. It's cool. What up from California?
I like these. I think these are so crazy.
Yeah.
Like these little things, and then these out here. These are cool because these stick out like this, so people can see that you're turning. It's amazing some of these cool little things that like they thought of that we didn't do anything with. Like here in America, we'd be like, dude, can I shave this? Can I paint it black?
Let me remove it.
Can I remove it? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? Can I just, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. I love the way the windows roll down. Like, it's just
Halfway,
silly
that's
how
it.
To get it to go down more, they jank it because it's going to hit over here by the wheel well.
Yeah.
So it's just, and the other cool thing about this, which is really neat, is this right here. No window.
Yeah.
No top piece. So it's just a regular door, which is so hard to find. Like my car is that way because it's a convertible.
Open the rear one.
The rear one's the same way.
Huh?
There's no.
I like it.
Yeah, there's no nonsense.
You don't have to hit your head.
It'd be really, it'd be really cool if you could make it like suicide doors and remove the whole D pillar. Like you can't do that obviously because of seatbelts now, but like that's so awesome. And you can just open it up like that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool as hell. I would never want one because we all know how I feel about old cars. But the funny thing is like we talked about this a couple years back. We were like, are these going to be like the Honda Civics, like the 1990 Honda Civics and stuff like that? Or 92s, 95s? Are they going to be the new 57 Chevys, the new old cars? The new, I'm going to restore this old car. The problem is like with this car, this is such an odd duck like you just can't find parts for it anywhere. So that's kind of scary. But
Right.
you know,
Well, most
there
people
again-
they don't know that this car exists.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Even though they're gonna bring this car back, I mean, look at the window. Look at this. The window, the air dam.
Yeah.
This is giant one-piece air dam because it can be. It's pretty cool.
Toyota.
Yeah. But like this car, so it's a 98, so it's 24 years old? 22 years old? What is it? 2024? Yeah, it's old. Let's do some basic math.
The Lincoln had suicide doors in
Yes.
the 60s.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black, murdered out, slammed down the ground. They look great. Don't own one. I knew somebody that had one. I think the crane.
What do you want to own?
I don't own anything.
Nothing?
No, I own my Mustang, and that's about as
That's
exciting
it?
as it gets. Yeah.
You don't want to put suicide doors in there?
It only has 2 doors. I mean, it's suicide as it is, just because it's convertible. I mean, yeah, it's scary enough.
You should put Lambo doors in there.
Never gonna. I hate those, man.
Really?
God, those are so.
No, I think you should put Lambo doors and,
No, man, I couldn't do it.
LEDs on the bottom.
That's fine. Like I had
Neons.
I had neon. There's no.
It's
S.
neons because
It's
you're
just
going to put a
neon.
multiple.
No, there is no S on neon. It's one of those cool worlds that
So
words.
it's no S on neons.
No, it's just neon.
So what
Neon.
everybody call Legos.
Because Legos you can make plural. Neon is just a word that you don't make plural.
But it's
Neons-
no S on Lego. It's just Lego.
It could be just Lego. I want
Right?
to buy some Legos. I wanna
No,
buy Lego.
I just wanna
Anyway,
buy
we're
Lego.
not talking about Lego. We're talking about neon. And I had neon underneath my car. I had neon in both my cars.
Yeah.
So the Eclipse had Veep green neon underneath it.
Okay. Show me
I
the
think I just finally threw all that stuff away.
show me the key on that car. TV tuner with Eclipse screen. Look at that one.
TV tuner. I had the Kenwood TV
Dude, that is
tuner.
cool, right?
907. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I used to love watching Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the government said, no, we don't need that. We don't need broadcast TV. Screw that.
Wow. Really?
I mean, that's essentially what happened.
Okay.
We all lost our TV tuners. So sad. But now we have phones that we can watch all.
Which sound deadening brand will you recommend based on your installs?
So, okay, there's a Facebook group called the Deadening. Okay, I think it's run by Nick Apicilla and friends. Now, Nick Apicilla makes Resonex, and by far one of the best sound treatments ever. However, it's expensive, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily need that, which is fine. For our installs, we use Stinger. So we use the Roadkill by Stinger. We also use some of the Morale stuff, and we've used some of the Ground Zero stuff, and we use some of the Sound Shield stuff. But day to day, because Stinger is right over there. It's real, and that stuff is heavy.
Where?
It's right over there.
Over there in that window?
Right. That's my dab.
Okay. That
Yeah.
window.
Jeff
It's in
is-
that window.
Jeff is
In the other window.
right over that way. So
Okay.
if you launched a rocket from right here, that way, you'd land right on top of Jeff's head right now.
Okay.
Because he's at the warehouse.
Just don't do that right now because
No,
he's
no.
working.
Well, I mean, Jeff and Jordan would probably not be happy.
Yeah.
So,
But you can also check morelhifi.com and they have sound deadening in there. So it's nice.
yeah, they have the new cool rain thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But for most of the stuff, we do use the Roadkill.
It's a 3-way, better than the 2-way set. Assume it's the same brand and model, with the only difference being the add of the mid-range speaker.
Yes, the 3-way will have more. The 3-way
More.
will have more. However, here's the cool thing. So, you guys asked me the other day, can we do a show about the Arc Audio DSP?
Yes.
Talked to Brian this morning, because why would I not? And I said, hey, this Saturday, let's get you on. We're going to talk about Arc Audio DSP, because obviously we're an Arc Audio dealer now, and we sell the Blackbird. The Blackbird is becoming very popular, along with the PSM Pro. A lot of people are starting to see 8 by 110 watts, and it's only this big. That's pretty awesome. So, Fernando has decided to take an
Maybe.
early leave of absence, possibly, on
Maybe.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to have Brian Mitchell here on Saturday talking about Arc Audio. and the PSM Pro and the Arc Audio software for DSP. So Saturday is going to be a cool DSP. Now keep in mind, even if you're not going to do, even if you're not going to do a Arc Audio DSP, DSPs are very similar, meaning functionalities between the two. So understanding one is like understanding the other. If you can get the basic core of what you need to learn about a DSP by switching brands, you should be okay. So that's why you want to tune in. Secondly, so for example, there's a good example of this. Now, this is funny. We often talk about it. If you hand me a camera, I don't care what camera it is, I'll be able to take a picture because I understand cameras. So we had a friend of ours come by and drop off this GFX Fuji. So this is a badass Fuji camera, super heavy duty, mirrorless Fuji camera. Big dog. This is a badass Fuji. It's really cool. So naturally, I'm excited because I'm gonna play with it. And the first thing I did was start figuring out there's things I need to know, and it's finding where they're at. So played with it the other day. We're gonna take it with us to Vegas to play with, along with all our stuff. But there again, I knew I could take pictures right away because I just have to find out where are my settings. They call them something. They even call them something different on this, which is even funnier. So it took me like 10 minutes to break through and be like, okay, what does this mean? That means this. Okay, cool. And then use it. So DSP is no different. So anything you learn about a DSP, whosever brand it is, as long as you understand the concepts of what you're trying to do, then you'll be able to apply that to any DSP. And that's the important thing, is that, you know, everyone gets hung up on brand and all this other stuff. Man, this thing is so cool because it, whatever, it doesn't matter.
So 3 ways, 2 ways.
So the reason why I brought that up,
There you go. I'm like, okay.
That's your job. That's why you're in the trainings, because, you know, I need you to keep me on point. Brian Mitchell, Mr. Arc Audio, has the truck.
Yes.
And the truck. Dude, I totally burned this today. Totally melted. Anyways, Brian in the truck has an Arc Audio RS set. Okay, so he has a 2-way set in the truck. Tweeter, 6.5. In his caddy, the world-renowned caddy, he has the RS 3-way set. And I'm saying RS, I think it's RS, because it used to be the black. It's not the black anymore. A 3-way set. So he has the same
brand,
same model, 3-way set in the caddy, 2-way set in the truck. Couldn't find you a better person to ask that question to. So Saturday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, when we do the show, I will make sure that before the show ends to ask him that question so that you can get a definite answer from somebody that actually owns what you're asking and has it on a daily basis, access to it, so we can finally put a pin in that one and we don't have to talk about it anymore.
What do you think about passive radiators?
Kicker loves those things.
Who?
Kicker. Kicker loves those passive radiators. Steve loves the passive radiator. We were talking about it the other day, and he's like, dude, Steve just loves these things. We can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Listen, they're designed to do a specific thing. If you build them right, they're going to do exactly that. So there's no problem with using them as long as you use them for what they're made for. I mean, that's the same with a ported enclosure. So as long as you have a plan, you execute the plan, works, life is great.
I asked my girlfriend, I want a 3-way for Christmas, and she's laughing.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, you know, I mean, yes, she would probably slap you. You know,
I say for girl.
I would go buy I go buy you a banana split.
Okay.
Well, banana split is 3-way, three types of ice cream. Yeah, I'm just saying. You get the strawberry, the chocolate, and the pineapple.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Bubba.
Ooh, so yummy.
Bobby.
What's up, Bobby? But yeah.
What's up, Clint?
Clint is in the house.
That's right.
So excited to be here.
That's right.
Throw those away. I think that was the
There you
fish holder
go.
we used the other day that fell apart. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Friday, my friends.
Is it Friday? It's not Friday. Oh, Clint's celebrating Friday.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he's
what I'm
on the
saying.
other side of the world.
That's
Hey,
right.
speaking of Friday, 2 things you guys should know. 1, it's Thursday. So that means tonight, Hi-Fi Vega and myself are back at it again. So you can find us over on the Hi-Fi Vega network. And then after that, you can find us on Reverse Polarity, where we talk about guy stuff and just stuff in general. We talk about movies, music, and food. It's pretty cool. Secondly, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, back at it with the news. So make sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 9 on any of our social networks right now for news. So you can go to Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips. You can head over to the 5-Star Car Stereo, or you can watch us from Facebook. Whatever works for you. Just make sure you tune in tomorrow to get news.
It's globally broadcasting.
It's globally broadcasting. It's almost like a global EQ, but not quite a global EQ.
It's like a master.
Yeah, eventually we'll turn it off of Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo.
When it's too cold or too hot to install sound dampening.
It's probably too cold way before it's too hot. Because, I mean, the stuff has to be at, like, whatever room temperature is. Mm-hmm. So I would think, like, wherever you're at right now, you probably need to warm up the room to, 65, 70 degrees.
I think right now it's not good to do sound deadening.
I mean, even here, we would have to close the doors.
Yeah.
And get it warmed up.
Yep.
If we're just doing a round of speaker, simple 12x12 sheets.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big deal. But if you're doing a full baked potato, then we need to warm the room up and get it. See, we just open the door. Up until now, like, it's cold right now, and I'm probably gonna put my jacket on. But we've had the door closed all day, and it's been nice. It was nice and warm in here, but we didn't want to suffocate when we started up the car, which that would suck. But yeah, you definitely want to do it room temperature, and I'm pretty sure that most manufacturers and they might not. I say that, and I know these manufacturers are so stupid sometimes, but they should give you an optimum temperature in which to install it. And right now, for most of the world, it's not the optimum temperature. I will say though that SoundShield, the people that own SoundShield live in Alaska, so I'm sure that they've thought of this.
Probably.
Yes.
Are there brands that will be better for playing mostly rock music? As opposite the, say rap.
I don't know if there's brands per se, but there are speakers that are better at it. So,
like,
for example, like what I've found is that most people that listen to rock and roll music prefer the Silk Soft Dome tweeter as opposed to the metal tweeter.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just one of those things that I've found. Like the three brands that we dealt with for a long time, like we have Focal, we have Morel, and we have Hertz Audison. The Hertz Milli Pros always kick ass when it comes to rock and roll. Like if that's like, I'm just doing this, it's like, okay, go some Hertz Milli Pros. It's a loud Silk Soft Dome, and it sounds great. You could also probably swap those out for the hybrids.
What did you show today?
Shows on the Hi-Fi Vega network.
And what are the shows?
The shows, they're again, go to YouTube, go to Hi-Fi, just search Hi-Fi Vega, and they'll be there.
Okay.
And then after the second show so it's at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and the second show is at 9:45, and that one is on SideJag.
It has a different channel?
Has a different channel, but we always put the link for it in the Hi-Fi Vega thing.
Perfect.
It's called SideJag.
Where are you guys located?
We're in Clearwater, Florida.
Clearwater, Florida.
Yes, in Clearwater, Florida. It's like an echo.
Clearwater, Florida?
Clearwater, Florida.
That's where we are?
Yeah, right across from the original Hooters. Hooters #1.
Really?
The best and only Hooters, apparently in my world, because the girls hate all other Hooters. Yeah, it's like a thing. It's like a big thing. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are in Florida. Soft Dome for me.
Soft Dome, yeah.
Soft Dome Twitter for me.
Dome. He said dome.
Dome. Yeah.
Although
Why are you talking like you're drunk?
Me?
Yeah.
He's shining a light right in my face right now. So this is right in my eyes. So I'm trying to not look at it.
But don't look at it. Look at the camera.
Well, yeah, but it's literally right there. So it's like, okay, I'm going to look off to the side.
Now you look brown. Now you look white.
Yeah, I
brown,
get it.
White.
So Mexican, not Mexican. Okay.
Mexican,
cool. I have a tan.
American. Mexican, American.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, great. So that's why.
There you go.
Yeah. And I don't drink, so me being drunk would be...
You don't drink?
Special.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
That is
drinking is bad for you. So you're doing the right thing, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing.
Can I have another old fashioned? What you want me to get you something? You want like a water or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let me get a water. How about a Coke? You want a Coke?
We need you guys to go there for lunch and film it.
Go where for lunch?
Hooters.
Oh,
A Smash 4 production experience. That would probably they gonna kick us out.
They would probably kick us out.
Like, what are you guys filming, creepy guys? So
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, you know. Because that would be. You gotta remember, man. We both have daughters, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not into that shameless, like, old guy creepy shit. Like the kind of. Yeah. Some of you guys have met Haley.
102-year-old man celebrate his birthday in there.
Oh yeah, why would you not?
Yeah.
I mean, my dad would probably celebrate his birthday in there My dad would probably go there every day if he could. I mean, but he's an old pervert, so I mean, what old guy is it, right? Yeah. I want to see some Hooters.
All right, so where is actually the Hooters? All right, so you walk over here, right? And it's right there. Look at that. Hang on, give me 1 second. Right there. It's just across the street from us. So, there you go.
So this is... How do we know which one's yours again?
Mine has a name in top of there. That's yours.
This one's mine?
Yep.
Okay.
So if you see the other one?
No, I'm just looking. I can never remember where you put your name.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, Fernando. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably smart.
Dean.
That's me.
This
is yours, right? Yeah.
Out of all these years, you've been installing Faber 6. What is your Faber 6.5?
Oh. Favorite 6.5?
I don't know. I don't think you have a Faber.
I really don't. I mean, you know, there again, there's been some speakers that I think look really cool. But remember, guys, to me, it's not like if you're not on my team, you suck. Okay, so like
totally, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
In this live, that's how it goes.
Like, Focal makes the what's the high end Focal?
Lates?
No, high end Focal.
M's. Utopia M's.
No, not the M's, but the Utopias. So Focal makes the 6.5 that has the red magnets around it. So it's a magnet
Ultima.
Plate. No, Focal.
Yeah.
Makes Ultimate, you mean?
The Ultima. Yeah,
well,
sure.
Ultimo is a Morel.
No. That's what they call it. But anyways, yes, I know what you're talking about.
That, to me, that 6.5 is one of the coolest looking 6.5. Mm-hmm. There's a couple woofers out there that have that too. Focal has one, and then some of the bass heads also make those. I think that design on a 6.5 is like the coolest ever, and I don't own any of them, which is really kind of depressing because I think it's like the coolest thing. I liked all the Morel stuff to me with the big 3-inch voice coils.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andy. Are just so neat, and the Elate, it really looks cool with the cast basket and all that other nonsense. I like the Thesis 6.5 because it has that clear cone. You know, you can see the Thesis right in the center. I think that looks really neat. I feel like Audio Control's doing that with the new Pacific Northwest. They have the little clear dust cap so you can see the Audio Control logo in the center. I think that looks really cool. Kenwood had those the high-res 6.5 that they made with no crossovers that only handle 50 watts that had that gold auto former on the top.
I like those. That was cool.
That looks cool as shit. You got like 6 pairs of them over there.
So if you're looking for
I thought those speakers were probably some of the sexiest looking speakers.
Now that you mentioned, do you know if we have a DMX 8709? 8709X or the DMX 809X in stock?
You gotta call Paul, man. I have no idea.
Really, bro? Come on, man. You know everything.
Dude, I can't find anything. I went over there to look for a double DIN the other day, just a CD player.
Did you find 300 of them?
No, I don't know where he hit them all. It was funny. I ended up finding a JVC on the bottom. I was like,
what do you hate to install or work on?
There's a list. There's a long list.
All right, give me one right now.
So, all right. So here's.
All right, no, not that one. Not that one.
No. So here's the problem. Like, I know what has to go into something. Okay, so like I know what it was going to take to do this car.
Okay.
I knew we were going to have to build everything from scratch. I know it was built by Humpty Dumpty, so everything we touch is just going to want to destroy itself in our hands. So like I know all of that going into it, and that bothers me because I have to work my way through that, okay? So 30 years of doing something, you kind of know what it is you're looking at, and that's the problem that I have, is that I know what it's going to take to do something. Some mornings I wake up and I'm just not in the mood for that shit. You know?
It's just old, man.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So it's not so much a car that's like, damn you, car. It's more of like, oh my God, we got to do all that work to do this. Shit.
Right.
You know, so that's more the internal dialogue that I have with myself when I get here.
You fighting your old demons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's all my own doing.
2015 plus Chargers.
Yes.
Or Challengers.
Yeah.
And 300s.
Yes.
Some people like hate those.
Oh yeah.
Really?
But Stinger has the high 10 kit for that now. So
Yeah.
that solves a lot. Chrysler typically doesn't bother me too much. The older ones that were always like, when you got to do the older ones where all the clips are always broken, like that, I just hate that because I know I can't deliver the experience that I'm hoping for because the dash is shit. So to me, when I like this car is beautiful, and I knew we could deliver on that. Like I knew we could integrate into this and make it what the guy wanted. Seamless, pretty, look factory, and sound great. So from that perspective, like I knew we could do it. It's just I hate cars where you get them in and you just know you're not going to be able to do a good job because the car sucks.
To me, I hate older cars, like old cars. Because, older cars.
Older cars, yeah.
Because...
I thought you said all cars.
No, I mean, yes, of course. I hate everything. But old cars are just...
Yeah.
Because it's like you're trying to be as careful as you can, and then boom, it pops. And it's like, oh my God, now you got to spend time trying to fix it or do something. And it's just not fun at all, So...
No.
Any news on plug-and-play harness for Stinger or Pack Audio for newer vehicles?
So they just came out with a whole line of plug-and-play amplifier harnesses for like the LC7i Pro, LC. So they just came out with a whole bunch of those.
LC5, LC.
Yeah. So they have a ton of T harnesses now, and most of those
LPH.
Yeah.
If you type LPH.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So they do have a ton of those right now, and Metra also has a ton of them. They just came out with a bunch of them because Metra, if you guys have been following this for a while, back 5 or 6 years ago, Metra had a ton of them, and they were to interface with their DSP, and then they got the bright ideas to package the DSPs with the harnesses, and the harnesses didn't exist anymore, and immediately we bitched at them. We're like, what the frick are you guys doing? And they're like, 2 years down the road, oh, we know we screwed up. We're going to go back to it. So they went back, so now all those harnesses now are available. So it is real easy to find a lot of these harnesses now.
Yes, for sure.
It's just knowing what to search for. On Metra, if you just type in like Chevy amplifier harness or radio T harness, you can find like there's a search tab on the top, which makes like great. Like I love that about that page.
Guess who is in the live show?
Guess who's in the live show? I mean, other than Natasha?
Oh, you win.
Oh, I mean, I could censor.
Oh, really?
Hey, by the way, did you get the bill the other day, Natasha? Just saying. It is the 16th. Yeah, just pointing that out.
What's up, Jeff?
Which Jeff?
It's how many Jeffs do you know?
Yeah, in my phone he's under Jeffrey.
Okay.
I know,
how many
weird.
Jeffs do you know?
A lot of Jeffs.
Really?
I know.
In the industry?
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a lot of Jeffs in the industry. Only one that would chime in on this show, though.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
There's a lot of Jeffs.
That's right.
John, Jeff, Mike, Brian.
Yeah, no, I'm just
so
talking
many
about
of
Jeff,
Well, yeah, but he's just Smith,
Mr. Smith.
He's Mr. Smith.
That's right.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. That's right.
Ooh. Yeah, they're coming out with Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh my God.
I know.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be cool. I at this point, I need anything because there's literally nothing to watch.
That's right. He's the Jeff
He is
Smith.
the Jeff Smith.
The Jeff Smith.
100%. Best shirt ever.
Best
shirt ever. I know.
Yeah.
I got to order a new one.
I got the same shirt. Oh,
Yeah, serial killer.
I like that one. That was pretty cool. Serial killer.
Yeah, serial killer
Yeah,
for sure.
that's for sure.
Have post will travel.
All right. Did I miss the recap on the crown?
I'll tell you what, we'll do one quick recap on the crown, but then we got to get it out of here for the customer. So let's take a look at the crown one more time. Fuse holder wasn't anything spectacular, but
right.
if you want to see, you can go back through it. Let's come on over here. We'll start in the trunk. Right-hand drive. So
No way.
yeah, I know, it's crazy. Let me see the light real quick. Or you got the light. You want to use the light? All right, so we ended up going with the 902.5, 901.5, and it is sitting on top of the previous audio pack. They wanted to see it. One of the criteria for this was they want to see the wiring. They really like the wiring, so they wanted to see it. So we came up with this to take advantage of this space and repurpose it because we couldn't take it out. Secondly, we went with the Kenwood Exelon Dual 12 box. It can be downfired, backfired, all that fun stuff. There was a factory 8-inch in here. We took that out. This car has a gas tank behind the back seat, so there's a solid firewall there. So the only air exchange between the trunk and the car is the 8-inch hole. So back here, we got this.
Just like the Crown Victoria, right? Like.
No, well, I mean, it's...
Well, it was
it's
on that kind of
same
style.
So
yeah.
more sub than we needed, just so we make sure we had enough sub. Okay, so come on over here.
Okay, come on, man. You have to tell me where.
Well, I was gonna come over here. I was opening the door for you.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, so hop in.
you're such a nice guy.
I know.
Thank you, sir.
So the car is now all put back together.
Yeah.
Go ahead and show the dash there. So we made this custom bracket here for the dash, painted it to match. This is made out of 1/4-inch acrylic. Remounted the radio so that it was flat and flush. We put the dual USB inside of here with flat black acrylic. We went with the Kenwoods come with one gray. We grabbed a second one so they match, so they kind of stand out.
What did you put it in there?
That's where the customer wanted it.
Okay.
Base knob got mounted right over here on the side of the steering wheel control, tucked up, hidden, really small, out of the way. The only other thing we did is in the rear center console, we added in the USB charger.
It's gonna be like upside down, but
So now if I'm sitting in the back seat here, I can flip these up and I can charge my phone. Okay, we added the white into that so they kind of match the front, give it that same similar look so it's easy to see what you're doing. And that's it. Got the car all put back together. Took a listen to it. Sounds fantastic. It's amazing. It has more bass than I was thinking it would have. So I was happy about that.
So tell me, what is your experience in this one?
These seats are really comfortable. That's
Yeah?
nice. Yeah. Like this is nice. I could totally drive this for about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a month, and then I'd be like, I can't drive this anymore. Yeah. I mean,
Right?
I've only owned one sedan.
Yeah.
4-door. I owned a Honda Accord
Oh,
back in like a long time ago.
yeah. You're all. Yes, it's a right-hand drive.
It is a right-hand drive.
Yes, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, that's it for today.
Dean,
Thank you,
before you go, what solder do you use?
What solder do I use?
Yes.
I use whatever the stuff is that Amp has. Oh, I'm sorry,
Stinger. Come on, man. Get it right.
30 years. So we use the Super Solder, alloy 60, diameter 0.8, best flux.
So yes, you have it, Bobby. Same thing.
Yeah, this is what we're
Same
using.
thing.
I like it. I've been using it for years now.
Yeah.
It's probably deadly. It's probably going to be what kills me. All right. Anyways, thank you, Merrill, for sponsoring this. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to tune in tonight, i5 Vega Network. Don't forget to tune in to the news tomorrow at 9 o'clock. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Just check the backup camera.
Please. No.
Dude, check the backup camera for God's sake. Start the car up. Check the backup. It's in the armrest. In the armrest. Armrest.
I'm a celebrity.
You are a celebrity.
Don't take pictures of me, bro. Take pictures of Paul.
I don't want to take pictures of Paul. You gotta start the car. It's a Chevy. Is that radio's dead? Yes. Hello.
Hello.
day, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
It's not a good day.
It's a good day.
Really?
Yeah. That was neat.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah, just waiting. Hello. What's that?
So what's going on?
I don't know. Apparently nothing. Just chilling, doing our things. Saturday. Oh, Saturday. You're not going to be here tonight.
I'm not going to be here today.
Fernando is working on an avalanche. So this is a young lady's avalanche that we put a radio in when it was newer. And the radio has since passed on. And now we're putting a new radio. She wants an updated navigation and all that. So we're putting a new one in. And yeah, it seems to be a lot of older cars in the last couple weeks. How do you like the Focal Auditor Series components? It's funny you should ask. We just did a yesterday.
Full system?
So, like I said, we've been doing a lot of older cars in the last couple weeks, which is really strange, but we did a 2005 Mini Cooper yesterday that we put a set of... Oh, good, the backup camera works. That we put a set of... we can turn the backup lines back on, because it probably had those on before, yeah. We did a set of the Auditor 6.5-inch components and 6x9s, and that powered off of Kenwood radio. Sounded really good. Yeah, let me show you what he's got going on here. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah, camera, backup lines. So, you guys stocked the new Focal. No, we haven't got those in yet. I don't think. The new Evos. I don't think we've got the new Evos in yet.
The new what?
The new Evos.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we've got them in yet. Why, Christian? It's not like you're gonna take out your Morels.
You want one?
Yeah, it's Christian. He wants everything. I'm running a DMA10 with the knob set as base knob. I'm thinking of putting in an epicenter. Will the knob still work? Yeah. Yeah, in the software for the DMA10, you can designate what you want it to do. So if you want it to still stay and be subwoofer level control, don't do anything. If you want it to not be subwoofer level control, you have two choices. Turn it all the way up, unplug it, or go into the software and just turn off subwoofer level control on that channel. You could switch it to master volume if you wanted to. Like if you turn on level control in every set of channels, then it just becomes master volume control. Or just unplug it from the DMA10. That'll also just, could be. Dude, really? I said that, Christian. Thanks, buddy. Any recommendations? Any smaller sub in a Tacoma? What year Tacoma? Because depending on what year it is, you can fit 2 10s behind the seat from Fox Acoustics. If it's one of the older ones that has that really under crappy seat thing, then 2 8s maybe, I think, is what the box holds. There's a couple different versions of that though, but there are boxes for them. Anyways, today's Saturday. We're going to be doing the live show at 5 o'clock. Fernando is not going to be there, which is okay because we have Brian Mitchell coming on. One of you guys on here said, hey, can you do a review of the Arc Audio DSP software? And so I said, of course. So Brian's going to come on tonight, and we're going to talk about Arc Audio DSP, Blackbird, PSM Pro, those kind of things, so that if you guys are interested in finding out more about those, you can also, if you just like to know about DSP, because anything that you can do with, you can shut off the engine if you want at this point. Anything that you want to do with a DSP, a lot of DSPs have similar functionality, so the more you know, right? So that's always a good one. Ada says, so you have any pick for games today? I know you don't like football, but I need some sort of guess. Okay, so I don't like football, but our boy here, Fernando, loves football. So, Fernando.
So who's playing today?
I don't know who's playing today.
The Bills and... Shoot, I don't know. Who's playing?
I don't know. Pull out your phone. Yeah, your phone. It's right there. Who's playing today? Afternoon, guys. Go Chiefs. Are they playing today?
I think Mahomes is gonna win.
What's up, Fro? Sports aren't my game. Sports are not my game either. I have no. Seahawks are out. Those Texans.
Why ask you that, bro?
That was Christian.
I know.
Yeah, I know. He's just throwing you under the bus as always. Packers and 49ers.
So the 49ers are gonna win.
Okay. Bills and the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are gonna win.
Okay.
So yeah.
Why does my driver's side louder when my pass? Oh, hold on. Why does my driver's side louder than my passenger side? Are my tweeter gains too high? Are they beaming? Texans versus the Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay, so there you go. So it's all right.
And then Lions and the Buccaneers tomorrow.
Well, he's just worried about today. So it's gonna be the Lions. It's okay.
I don't know, man.
I know. I don't either, but I really want the Lions to win. Either way.
Baker is
yeah, they're awesome.
Now.
So speaker here, speaker there.
Yes.
Is there going to be some beaming on the tweeter? Yeah, there's of course going to be some beaming on the tweeter, depending on what frequency range the tweeter is trying to play. But a lot of the time, every time we tune a car with time alignment or whatever, you always have to gain this side down. Very rarely do we do a system that does not involve gaining down the driver's side. You're sitting closer to it. So it is naturally going to sound louder. Now, sometimes the passenger side, because there's an unobstructed view, will seem louder. And there again, that's because it's unobstructed. So depending on how these are situated, yeah, you might need to turn these down. But very rarely does that happen because they're far away. But yes, typically, we'd actually tuned a car this morning. A gentleman drove up from Miami to have us tune his car. And when all was said and done, matching both sides, time aligned it, got everything rocking and rolling, and I ended up turning down the driver's side by 1.5 dB just to move the center over another 2 or 3 inches to make it sound the way I wanted it. Level wise, they were the same. Like if you look at the RTA, both sides match acoustically. It was perfect that way, but it's still, once you get in the car and you listen to it, driver's side's louder. It's steering the center closer to the center of it's moving the center over towards the steering wheel. I don't want that, so I'm going to reduce that. It's going to push it back over. So yes, typically. Now, depending on whether you're using a DSP or radio, you can use your fader control. If it's a modern radio, chances are it does have time alignment, so you can go and adjust. Not all of them. Some of them will have level control for that. Otherwise, you got to use fader, which sucks. Some have shelf filters for the tweeters.
Shelf filter?
A shelf filter allows you to grab, think of an EQ band that it kind of looks like a crossover in that it has the slope point. So let's say 3200, and you pull it down and it pulls everything to the right or left of that down. In this case, it'd pull everything, if you're looking at it, it'd pull everything from 20,000 to 3.2 down or up, depending on where the 0 point is on that adjustment. So and you can do that for the other side too, which makes things real easy. So in Alpine and Kenwood, and probably JVC also, they have those filters for the tweeter, so that if you want to keep your mid-range, that's not what's drawing the attention away from you, which usually isn't. It's usually the tweeter because it's right there, and it's so you can just lower the volume on the tweeter. Some of them you can do it in the crossover. So there's a lot of different, depending on the head unit, there's a lot of different adjustment capabilities to be had. But yeah, okay. I think we covered that one through and through. Okay, let's see what we got here. Lions. Yeah. We said, did we get Ravens and Texans?
Huh?
Did we do Ravens and Texans?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Ravens.
You're going to pick the Ravens. Okay,
Yeah.
Ravens. Okay. Because you sit closer to the driver's door and you adjust it. Yes, Fro is correct. Texans upset could be cool. Go Lions. Ravens because of Clowney. He's a beast. Clowney? Clown? I have no idea. Jessica wants the Lions to win. I want the Lions to win. Jessica, his wife, is from Michigan. So
Yeah,
we have that
Mike.
in common. Addis, Jessica.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
His baby's mama.
Okay. I do that.
We're both from Michigan,
Okay.
so we want the Lions. I just want the Lions because they've been so close to greatness for such a long time now.
I think it's been like what 20 or 30 years. They
Oh,
haven't been in
yeah.
the playoffs.
I was a kid, but
So-
but they just keep getting so close, and this year they're so good.
Yeah.
So
Hey man,
what do I know?
Tampa Bay actually
Tampa Bay,
surprised
yeah,
last week.
yeah.
So
Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my, go Packers.
yeah.
What
Flynn, what
go.
about Dallas?
Ooh.
Sorry, bro.
What a dick. Morel hoodie. Yes, I have a Rockford hoodie today. Hold on. When adding a DSP and adjusting EQ settings for the subwoofer, do those settings affect the other speakers or on the door panel? So if you have a DSP and you have it set up properly, meaning, all right, there's a channel EQ, there's an EQ for every channel in most DSPs, meaning left front, right front, mid, tweeter, whatever. So if it's set up like that and it's not a global EQ, so for example, when you're adjusting your radio, that is a global EQ, meaning when you boost the bass, it boosts all the bass, door speakers, mid-range. That's what's called a global EQ. In a DSP, they have channel EQs most of the time, independent. So if you're adjusting the subwoofer, it is just affecting that subwoofer channel, okay? If that channel is out of the DSP is feeding more than one speaker, it's going to affect everything that is downstream of it. So you have independent EQs and you have global EQs. And those are important to understand the differences between. A global EQ affects everything, the globe. So kind of like carbon monoxide affects the whole world. And we're all going to die from it. Independent EQ just adjusts the channel that it's connected to. And if you'd like to learn more about that, make sure to tune in tonight, because I'm sure that is one of the things that Brian is going to talk about when we talk about the ARC Audio software. So some of the JVCs have tweeter. Yes, they do, because they're Kenwood JVC Kenwood. Yeah, so they use the same software. Ada has a broken routers. Does he? Oh, that sucks. So does Kenwood separate tweeter? So does Kenwood separate? Yes, Kenwood's. Yes, we all know. I mean, it's Kenwood. I tell you what, we have a 9 series Kenwood in here. I'm going to show you what we talked about. Turn that on for me, Fernando. So we'll kind of go over this for you guys that are like.
Can you grab my panel tool?
I will grab your panel tool.
Thank you, sir.
So a lot of you guys are just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Naturally, I like it when you guys get to see demos. So we'll wait for this to turn on, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got this one piece right here that just went crazy last night. I don't know what the hell it's doing.
Are you growing your hair?
No, I'm not growing my hair. Oh. I just don't want to cut it right this minute. Okay.
There you go.
I'm just waiting for the chime to go off. All right, so we got to have it at least one, or the EQ will shut off. Okay. So we're going to flip this around. There you go. Put it on your phone. Good job. Okay. So you gotta mute your phone, or just turn it off.
Listen you.
Yeah.
In the car.
Okay, so we're gonna hit menu, audio, and then we're gonna come over here. I'm gonna show you where all these things are at. So if we come over here into crossover,
speaker select,
which is crossover, you have all these things where you can set up what size speaker you're using, whether you have a tweeter, small, medium, large, or none. Then you tap crossover, and then you'll see this here. This is high pass, okay, and then you have tweeter gain. All right, so now you see where it's adding this. We'll just over accentuate it. All right, so that just added that filter onto the tweeter to reduce the volume on both left and right tweeters, okay? So that is if you have these tweeters up here and they are just, oh my God, calm down. And then you're gonna reduce both of them. You do that here in the crossover. All right, so let's shut this off. All right, now we'll get out of here. And now we'll go into time alignment and we'll select adjust. And then we can set up our time alignment for distance. And then over here we have level. And so now we have tweeter level left and tweeter level right. This allows us just to turn down the level of, there again, it's applying that same filter that was in the crossover, but now it is applying it to just that tweeter as opposed to both tweeters. So this would be a channel level control. The other one would be a global level control, and it'd be the global of both of these tweeters here. All right, so that gives you the ability to just reduce that tweeter. You can also reduce the mid-range. But yeah. Now, by reducing this here, because this isn't an independent channel, it is reducing the amount of high frequency that is going to the mid-range. The thought is, though, that you have a passive crossover here, okay? And the frequency for just the tweeter isn't going to, because of the passive crossover and where they're crossed over, is not going to affect the output of that mid-range, because this is above the crossover point for the mid-range. So the mid-range isn't actually seeing that frequency because of the passive crossover. So when you're doing this, technically, yes, you're just adjusting that tweeter. All right, so that gives you the ability to do that. Now, when we're talking about EQ, see this EQ here, this adjusts everything. So when we come in, we'll jazz, because I like that one. I'll select all source. And this allows us, every source now is all jazz. So this is another feature that's really cool. It's all source. You can have different, it's called source tone adjust, meaning you can have different tone controls on each one of your sources, or you can just have the EQ for the same on all sources, which is kind of cool. We'll leave that way. But that is a global EQ, because it's not, now if this was a 1057, then I could show you other things, but we don't have a 1057. So that is some of the information that we talked about at the opening of the show. So, where is the gain on a tweak? Switch my sub out and they need some tuning. The gain in the tweak is in the software. So, you have input, output software. There's also a level control in the software on the subwoofer level control. But yeah, it's all, I don't remember what page it's on, but it's all there. Yeah, so it's a slider. Hey Dean, going to a friend's house today to fix a radio that won't turn on. Boss 10-inch. Doesn't turn on after jumping car because of dead battery. Gonna try see if fuse is blown. Okay, so that's actually a really common problem. And usually what happens is, because you just spike the out of the radio, it's typically not a blown fuse. More than likely, it's a breaker inside of the radio. What I would try before you get two balls deep into this is just going underneath the hood, disconnecting the ground from the battery, letting the car sit for 10 minutes, okay? Just let it sit for 10 minutes, hook it back up, see if the radio comes on. The reason why you have to let it set for 10 minutes is because you have to wait for everything in the car to power down and the reserve memory to go away. If that doesn't work, it's probably still not a blown fuse. It might not have been enough, meaning there could be capacitors inside of the radio or somewhere else in the car that's keeping the radio charged, in which case you have to unplug the radio, plug it back in. If it has a smart module, it could also be the smart module took the hit and is losing power to that. Some of the radios also have a reset switch on them that you can just push and it'll reset. You can usually check the internet or the instruction manual for that. But most of the time after you jump a car, it's tripped the internal protection in the radio, like an AC breaker, but it's not. It's a little different. And it just shut the radio down. It could still be a blown fuse, but it's usually not a blown fuse. It's usually just something simple, like the computer needs to lose power and power back up. Dude, you let the football stuff. Duck you. Do you had a fix? All right. A fix if amp has ground noise because of bad signal noise, radio, tweeter hiss is bad. Typically if your tweeter hiss is bad, that's floor noise. You probably have your gain up too high. And usually if your gain up is too high, then you can get things like engine noise and fun stuff like that. So floor noise is usually, which is from your tweeter, usually means that you're putting too much input signal into the amplifier, or too much out, your gain is screwed up. So you have too much signal somewhere that needs to get turned down. Also, it depends on what type of tweeters you have. So for example, if you have like a set of louds, those usually have a sensitivity of anywhere between like 100, 107, 103 dB. Those are always going to have floor noise. with the amplifiers that typically get put on them, just because. Flint, sorry man, born in Green Bay. It's okay, dude. It's okay. On the tweak, there is a level adjust towards the right side on the bottom. Track your sub output on the bottom from left to right. You will see it. There you go. Froze, hooking you up.
Perfect.
Dude, is his legs broken?
They're hot.
19 Toyota 4Runner. My front speakers are wired parallel, and rear doors and tailgate are in series. If I upgrade my speakers, is it better to separate the rears for more volume? No, the volume is the same. I mean, it's the same. So, okay, it's going to depend on what your factory speakers are in the Toyota. Typically in the Toyota 4Runners, we don't retain the rear door speakers. We actually loop past them because we don't want that much rear. But if you're going for volume, you have to figure out if the factory speakers are 2 ohm or the 4 ohm. If they're the 2 ohm versions, then that's fine, but it's not going to be great for you because you're going to... I don't know. Hold on. Slow it down. Like I said, we typically remove those. It might be 4 ohm, which is going to give you 8 ohm, but I think they're 2 ohm, which gives you 4 ohm at the amplifier. And if you put 4 ohms in there, it's going to be 8 ohm at the amplifier, and that's going to totally suck. At that point, if you're keeping the factory radio, you're pretty much SOL because you can't, it's not going to matter how you wire them up, because if you try to, that'll be bad. Yeah. We put a new radio in, it gets real confusing really fast. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like the rear speakers in that. Yeah. If I reduce the level on the tweeters, do I also need to adjust mid? Will it not affect my image? Everything affects everything is the easiest way to think about that. No matter one adjustment. So it's not necessarily a bad adjustment, okay? So your bad adjustments, good adjustments, right? So some things you do make everything sound better, and some things you do make everything sound worse. So the secret is to not overthink it. Do what you need to do to get something to sound the way it's supposed to, and then worry about the rest of it. So sometimes by fixing one problem, it alleviates problems you didn't even know you had, because you're like, oh crap. So, if you reduce the volume of the tweeters, then you actually will have more mid-bass because of masking, meaning the tweeters were playing so loud that they were masking the amount of mid-bass you could hear. So by tuning the tweeters down, your car actually now has more mid-bass. It really doesn't. You've just decreased the level to something that was drowning out those. So, and the best way to think about that is when you have that overwhelming subwoofer in the back, and all of a sudden when you turn it up, everything in the car automatically doesn't sound as good, and it seems like everything just got quieter. We've had, I crank my sub up, the whole system gets quieter. No, it doesn't. It actually stays the same. The problem is you've taken this subwoofer and you've made it so much louder than everything else, it's masking these. It's just drowning them out. So by turning the tweeters down, you actually get more mid-bass. It's pretty scary and kind of cool. Oh, it doesn't turn on 2008 GMC Yukon. Oh, yeah. So, more than likely, it's your smart harness. That used the smart harness. So, like I said, try disconnecting the battery and letting it sit for 10 minutes and see if that works. If not, you probably just pull the radio out and start. Because it's going to be there's only one fuse in the car. It's a constant 12 volts. That's it. Because everything else is done through a smart module. So, for example, this car, we took the old radio out and they wanted to update to a RR instead of this, but this is the smart module that you would use on this particular one, which is probably the same you use on a 2008. And this will take a hit, and sometimes, from a jump, and you just unplug it and it's all good. That's why sometimes all you have to do is disconnect the battery. Otherwise, sometimes you have to go in and actually unplug this module, let it sit, and then you're back in business again. But yeah, that's it. What brand RCAs do you recommend? We typically use Stinger RCAs. That's not to say they're the best RCAs there are. There's plenty of good RCAs out there. Those are just the ones that we use. I really don't have like a favorite, like, oh my God, you gotta use these. We use the Stingers more because they work. We've been using them for years. They don't have noise, and they go underneath the carpet really easy. So, we use a lot of 4000s. So that's really it. Scary to jumpstart a newer car with another car nowadays. Yes, it is. We have a jump box. So, do I need to upgrade my battery when adding a high output alternator? So, probably, because it's going to depending on how old the battery is, would be one thing. Two is capacitance, meaning you have this high output alternator. Where is all the juice going to go? Right? You gotta be able to store some of that energy that you're using. So, going with a bigger, better battery is probably a good move. Yeah, jumper packs are the best. It's 4 ohms. Okay. Yes, I'm adding a radio. Okay, so that's the other thing you got to keep in mind. I'm guessing you're talking about the Forerunner, you're adding a radio. So if you're going to replace the speakers with 4 ohm speakers, that means you're going to have 4 ohm form. It's in series. You're going to have an 8 ohm at the radio. So you're not going to get a lot of power to those in the rear. So you're going to get half of half. At that point, if you want louder speakers, it's a pain, but I would still just do the rear doors and disconnect those, because I think those suck back there. They're so far away. But it just depends if you have kids and what you're trying to do. But I just, like I said, I don't like those. But what I was going to say is, if you're trying to keep all of those, a small amplifier to power them independently is probably going to be the way to go if you're trying to make them louder. And it's not going to be fun, because you're going to have to grab everything here, and the B pillar is where you're going to do it. Because the wire comes into there, goes out of there, and goes to the back, and then circles around to the radio. So it's not going to be a fun rewiring job at all. I'm adding a Kenwood Exelon, and rears are 4 ohm. Yep, okay. Oh, okay. Wow, was the battery jumping? Non-JBL, yeah. No, there is no update on Fernando's car at the moment. My whole setup went with Bemas, mids, and highs, DD, DSP, and crossfire amps. Nice! I have a Dodge Magnum wagon. Okay. The back hatch makes a lot of noise. Yes, because of subs. What can I do to limit the noise from the back window vibrating? Class. So, listen, anytime something rattles, okay, you have to make it thicker. You can't make windows thicker. It's just, you can't do it. Like, it's a rear window. It's just going to do what it needs to do. You can make everything around it more rigid. You can sound treatment the panels, you can sound treatment the car, and if you make everything else around it more rigid, that might cut down on some of it. But the reality is, if you got two 15s in the back of the car, the air has to go somewhere. Now, if the roof is flexing and the sides are flexing, well, obviously the window is going to flex. If you make those more rigid, then the weakest thing is going to still flex, which is the window, but it could reduce the amount. So, you're going to put thousands of dollars in the sound treatment in that car to get it to not do that. But hey, discounts. Do it. The reason why I just didn't really, I don't remember what hats I wore. And I moved some stuff around in my house, and so I have to go through and figure out what hats I've already done and then kind of put it together. So it's just a matter of, I don't know what hats I've already done. No, this is factory. So everything in this Avalanche is factory. She just wants navigation. You know, she had navigation. It got old, stopped working. So she's going with new navigation. We talked to Mary Lou. We just have to figure out when works for her. So we'll have her on. Just be patient. We'll get her on. I know. She's down. I think the Mary Lou and Jeff show should be a special, like, Andy show. And I kind of like that idea, too. I just, you know, the problem is everyone has a job, right? So trying to pull an hour out of the day that they could both do something is difficult.
People are working, guys.
She has a job. She's got to work. So, you know, it's like, and especially Jeff. And right now we're all getting into the busy show season. So, you know, Jeff is building show cars right now for AMP and updating their displays and all of their fun stuff, which he's over there somewhere doing. I don't know what she's doing, but, you know, during the day she works. So I liked the Andy 2 o'clock show. It just worked out that day because we could stop and do it. But yeah, that's a hard one for everyone involved. But tonight, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Brian Mitchell will be here. We're going to talk about Arc Audio DSP, which is good for all DSPs. So make sure you tune in. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe some questions will get asked, or, you know, he'll give those pieces of information that you're looking for. So, and we can talk about frequency masking. That's always fun. That's one of his favorite topics, how to make
frequency masking.
Yeah, where a frequency that's close to another frequency is drowning out that frequency, making everything else making it not sound good. So when you turn down one he's got a name for it. I think it's masking or something like that. But when you turn down the one frequency, it makes this frequency that's next to it louder, and they'll sound better. Really loud tweeters, quiet mid-range. Turn the tweeters down, you have louder mid-range.
Sure, and the opposite side for it.
Yes. Your mid-range are too loud. Turn those down, the tweeters get louder. Anyways, that's what we got going on tonight. So make sure to tune in for that. And that's all we got. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Oh, this show's been brought to you by the fine folks in Morel. MorelHiFi.com. You can find all the cool stuff there. Yeah, go Morel.
On Instagram, Morel_America.
There you go. Boom. Bye.